This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hello, WTF Nation Radio, and welcome to Tuesday, 12 December 2017. I'm your host tonight, Gray Cloud, and with me I have KJ from Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. Excuse me, Jose's Taco Truck. My apologies. Minx is out saving the world with medical stuff, and hopefully she'll be joining us later tonight. But so here we are, another great day, and it's a fantastic weekend, let me tell you. But how was your weekend, KJ?
I spent it in a glorious stupor, running around my town. People say that I was naked, but I tend to disagree. I was told it was a birthday suit, but whatever.
Oh, that's always a positive, I think. Maybe, perhaps.
I don't know. Kahlua is a hell of a drink, man.
Hell of a drug. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Oh no, man.
That yet.
So no. So my weekend, played hooky from school. Had a logistical hiccup, and then let's see here. The Dreadnought is in the shop for some kind of electrical thing. So that logistical nightmare of getting it there and then getting back to work that day was a pain. And then I had somebody die in my building on Monday. So it's been it's been an interesting week so far. And then, Nation, if you have maybe been living under a rock, and as you can see scrolling at the bottom of the screen there, Army beat Navy 14-13. I know this probably been talked about on Saturday. It probably was talked about on Sunday. It was probably covered on Monday. But this, with back-to-back wins, is probably worth covering probably for the next week or so. So I hope to hear it a lot on the rest of the shows, and it'll be brought up at least 3 more times tonight on ours.
I'm just gonna say, bro, that we definitely understood camouflage during that game.
Oh my God, that meme came out almost immediately.
The minute I saw like 3-4 weeks ago, it's like the U.S. Army will be honoring the 10th Mountain Division. Oh, cool, white uniform. Wait a minute, it's December. No way. That weather control machine they talk about in that movie, The Corps, we got it. The Army's rocking it.
Yep, we got it definitely down this year for the camouflage. But this is 2 years in a row, and the theme here is that we have gone with throwback uniforms that are a tribute to World War II, not necessarily World War II units, but those units that were in World War II, i.e. 82nd Airborne last year, and this year 10th Mountain. So, United States Military Academy, if you're listening, that's a trend that's obviously working. So let's keep it going.
For 68 more seasons.
Yeah, we need to at least even the series.
There we go. 68 more seasons for the 68 other infantry divisions. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, so other than that, it was a decent weekend. Temperatures were kind of mild here. It's supposed to drop down in single digits here in my neck of the woods. How goes your weather?
I can't find any of my winter clothes, so I've been running around in gym shorts and Henleys and just freezing my ass off. Send cash to KJ for Christmas, so I can cover all in.
Send him clothes. KJ's gonna be one of those humanitarian commercials. Send us clothes. Send us your donations. Blah blah blah. You'll be wearing Cleveland Indians won the World Series shirts.
I'll be enjoying a nice warm fire if you send me that.
Oh man. But yeah, so it's been let's see here. Let's do we want to start the news, or is there anything else you want to cover before we get rolling for the articles for today?
Well, just a small little thing. I got paired up for my Secret Santa through the main page, and I feel so sad for whoever got me.
Why?
I mundane stuff, but then I put a thing. It's like, just pick something, and I'll put it on the show. So now I'm expecting a big old box of dildos or something.
Oh Lord, what?
I'll unicorn it, bro. I'll show up, balaclava on, unicorn horn.
Unicorn horn.
Yeah, for whoever's got me.
That's interesting. What, you gonna show up like a brony? That's what. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll get the glitter and everything. I'll go hard. Day after Christmas, you'll see it.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
Because I have a show the day after Christmas.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
26th.
Oh yeah, I'm working. I've got to work that day too. I didn't take any leave really. I'm flying home flying back to Colorado for that weekend, and that's about it.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully there'll be some nice snow on the ground. But I'm kind of worried about traveling this weekend for class because that winter front that's coming in. So hopefully I can get out, and then hopefully I can get back in because snow and stuff.
Yeah, we just had our first set of flurries last Friday, and it was Nashville decided that because it was flurrying, we need to salt and brine the entire city for a flurry. So bread and milk. Bread and milk.
Dude, I never believed that. In the first year I was out in this area, everybody was kind of giving me a hard time about it. I was like, there's no way, because again, where I'm from, it's pretty normal that, most people have a 4-wheel drive vehicle and they can get to point A and point B and they can shovel themselves out and whatnot. In, was it 15 when they got that huge snow dump out here? I went to the store to get, beer basically. And, I went there and I thought, I'll go look at the bread aisle. I'll check this out. And sure enough, it was empty. Like, I think I saw hot dog buns and gluten-free, those thin little gluten-free buns. That was left on the shelves.
I'll trade you because we go through. Nashville doesn't get snow like the rest of the South does. Apparently, we get like ice storms because of the Nashville Valley. But of course, when it does snow, I literally live on the side of a hill, big neighborhood side of the hill. I have a 45-degree driveway.
Oh, dude.
Oh man. I get ice, I ain't leaving. So what do I do in the middle of that big snowstorms we all had in the winter of 15, in the beginning months of 15? Mm-hmm. I decide to climb up my hill to get to the road, to walk the several miles, 2.5 miles to the smoke shop by my Habibi brothers that are always open, that I swear were interpreters, and get there and it's like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, just have a smoke, have a beer, don't worry. We got someone doing runs.
That's awesome.
Can you post this shit on your fucking Facebook? Yeah, we did like 6 hours ago. My fault for not checking it.
Well, reasons. you have other things to worry about, right? Like,
I had to pick up beer and cigarettes. I had to.
It's important.
It is. Middle of a snowstorm, beer and cigarettes.
Yeah, So. But all right, so let's let's roll into the news. Is there anything you want to start with in particular? Is there any articles that you really want to try?
You know which one I want to do, but
yeah, we're gonna wait on that one. We discussed that. We're gonna wait. But let's cover the fires here really quick, and. I got an update. Let's see here. Let me do a quick refresh on this story, see if there's an update. So last updated at 14:41 today, and this is the California wildfire update. Several wildfires plaguing Southern California are nearing full containment, but firefighters continue their battle to extinguish the Thomas Fire. The blazes have been burning for more than a week, and some fire officials are predicting the fight will continue for several more days. The Thomas Fire, these are updates on the fire. The relentless inferno has continued to roll through the foothills near Santa Barbara. Flames that burn through much of northern Ventura and Ojai have pushed through to Santa Barbara County and are continuing into areas of Los Padres National Forest. The count of structures destroyed has also risen. So 234,200 acres, 20% contained, 889 structures destroyed. 182 structures damaged. The Creek Fire began on 4 December. Nearing full containment, the blaze that brought destruction to Salmar, Sunland, Tugan, Lakeview Terrace, and the Angeles National Forest still has a ways to go. Heavy brush and some smoldering pockets have been found within the perimeter. Angeles National Forest officials predict the fire will be contained by December 23rd. That's another 10 days of burning.
And this is the part that really, I'm all for stopping wildfires, and I hate to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
They're incredibly necessary for those ecosystems to replenish and refresh. And the reason why we're seeing so many more wildfires is the underbrush that a normal wildfire caused by like a lightning strike or whatever would have wiped away and kept the forest relatively clear. Have you walked through any of those, dude? They are just underbrush heavy, man. It's like walking through fucking some South American or African jungle.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And it ain't healthy for the forest. That's why it's year after year after year we're hearing wildfire. Let this shit burn.
Right, and those structures just keep getting and those where those fires occur, obviously, it just keeps getting encroached on. So, there's that.
We gotta find there's got to be a balance between human expansion, and natural ecosystem progression.
Right, but nobody wants to listen to that.
Common sense, fucking superpower.
You would think common sense, but let's be real here, and it's nobody wants to listen to reason. Period.
Yeah.
But hey, what do we know? We're just two guys on a show talking shit. Let's see here. So that was a creek fire. So let's see here. The Rye fire. Firefighters continue to establish containment lines around the fire, which ignited near Rye Canyon Loop by Valencia and Santa Clarita. On Monday, a fire official said they expect to have the blaze contained by Friday, December 15th. Oh, that's 3 days from now. So hey, look at that. 6,049 acres, 96% contained, 6 structures destroyed, 3 damaged. Began 5 December. Oh, my apologies, I didn't cover the stats for the other fire. For the Creek fire, 15,619 acres, 98% contained, 123 structures destroyed, 81 structures damaged. Also began on 5 December. The Lilac fire. As the weather conditions improved, firefighters were able to make more headway on containment from Monday. The count of structures damaged and destroyed has increased. Acres 4,100, 92% contained, 157 structures destroyed, 64 damaged, and it began on 7 December. And there's 2 more fires to cover quick. This Garibald fire. Authorities said Tuesday the blaze was caused by an illegal cooking fire at an encampment tucked away into the brush. Wow, that's just terrible camping etiquette.
Smokey the Bear is looking at you.
Smokey the Bear is coming for you. The site is adjacent to where the Spelvoda Boulevard crosses under the 405 freeway. The Los Angeles Fire Department said the area was empty and no arrests have been made. The blaze, which crept into well-known neighborhoods such as Bel Air, is keeping firefighters working. Notable Los Angeles landmarks such as the Getty Center and UCLA have been plagued by the smoke and air pollution that resulted from the blaze. Progress fighting the blaze has not changed since Monday. 422 acres, 85% contained, 6 structures destroyed, 12 damaged, began on 6 December. And then the Liberty Fire. Liberty Fire is the only blaze considered 100% contained. Firefighters got this Matura area fire extinguished on Saturday and have continued to monitor the burned stretch. 300 acres, 100% contained, 7 structures destroyed, no availability on damage, and began on the 7th. So, Nation, if you have people in that area, be sure to keep them in your thoughts. And remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
I think, I'm trying to remember where I read it. I don't remember if it was 100% or not, but I think one of the issues was a bunch of trees got planted 60, 70 years ago, eucalyptus trees.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine the brush they create.
Eucalyptus trees, and then eucalyptus oil, which is flammable.
What? No, come on. Oh, yeah. So there's a comment in the FBL chat. Eucalyptus scam of 1920. That's one thing. Oh God, now I gotta look it up so I can get 100% on. Eucalyptus scam. Eucalyptus scam of 1920. That's impressive.
Google,
it's a scam.
Now. Yep, Google. Early 1920s. Caused hundreds and thousands of acres of eucalyptus trees to be planted.
Oh, hold on. We got some comments in the mixer. See here. Little Bob Saget in the mixer. The firefighters are carrying dry ice and smoke machines. It's a false alarm from Hillary supporters to keep us blinded from net neutrality.
I mean, it's very.
Man, that
I didn't want to get into.
I didn't want to get into tinfoil hat stuff today.
Covered in soot. I mean, I don't think a false flag for net neutrality when even Pornhub is advertising about it, where Pornhub is purposely slowing down your videos to where they are literally at fucking digital crawl. It looks like you're staring like they're being like Japanese porn where they digitize everything. and saying this is what happens with net neutrality. I mean, that's a website with hundreds upon thousands of views every day in the U.S. alone. I don't think that we're getting blinded about net neutrality and the fires are to keep us blind from it. But,
Yeah. It's too early for tinfoil hat theories. And
that's why I pay compressors.
And the reason I say that is because there's some pretty interesting what's that thing called that floats in the air? Satellite footage of the smoke coming from the fires, and I don't know, the one video of the old boy rolling down the highway, and you can see like the pelatos or whatever they are, literally on fire and burning red hot.
I made the dumbass mistake of driving through Gatlinburg when we had the Gatlinburg fires.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise. I would, if someone told me there's an inferno like that, nope, never doing it again.
Yeah. So I don't drive through things that could possibly cost me my life. Yeah, a fire being one of them, because
I didn't have a choice. I had to go through it.
You did. You could have stopped and just waited it out.
I mean, if you would have loaned me the $500,000 for the hotel room, sure. I would have definitely waited. If you were going to loan me the $5,000 or $6,000 it would have been for how long I had to stay there. But I was going to go home to my wife and just say fuck it and take my '95 Buick and just be like,
start plowing. Well, that's probably made of all steel, and you would have had a good time doing that.
It's a '95 Buick. The only thing I have a good time is pretending that I'm a pimp.
I've seen your profile picture, and I don't think you could pull that off unless you had the super dark windows.
I mean,
Doc, it does not mean you have a death wish or personality disorder. And no, riding a motorcycle is completely different than driving through a fire.
Oh, that's what I'll do next time with a big fire. I'll pull out the dirt bike.
And go literally blaze some trails.
Literally blaze some trails.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, so, yeah. Oh, man. So, again, Nation, if you have friends and family out there, we hope they are safe. We hope they are sound. And if we get any develops throughout the week, obviously we'll make sure that the nation is kept informed if it starts to affect our nation and our service members. Oh. So something else that's interesting that's happening today is the special election in Alabama with Roy Moore and all that scandal that surrounds him, scandal, allegations, whatever we want to call it at this point. I'm trying to check for some exit polls right now.
No, there's nothing up yet, which is what's aggravating me.
Yeah, you think the polls closed at 2000, but usually they're able to, start running the some exit polls with some numbers, pretty close to closing time. But I'm not seeing. Let me check another source quick.
News, don't fail me now.
Where are you going?
Google News.
Oh.
And of course, it sends me straight to the Washington Post. Fake news.
Fake news. Let's see.
I don't know. I mean, the way I look at it, it's like as a independent person, I have a choice between a Democrat and a pedophile, and I don't like either choice.
Let's see here.
Pedophile, an alleged pedophile, but still, I mean, it's like, do I have to choose between Hillary or Sanders?
Yeah.
That's a bad comparison. Hillary or Bill, both are equally.
So, So this has a lot of different, angles to it and whatnot about this race with, Moore and Jones, both running for this one seat. And I've seen a lot of takes on it. And here's the thing about this. And, this is something I always bring up during our show. And Nation, it's up to you to decide who you think should be running our country. Make that choice. Go out there, cast your vote, and be heard about it. Because that's the only way. And again, that's the only way change is actually going to happen. So get out there, vote, and make it happen. That's the only true way to have it decided. All this garbage about people calling for people to resign and step aside and step down and all this other garbage. You know what? If they're running, let them run. Because ultimately, those who they work for, i.e. the voters, the taxpayers, the people of the United States of America, that's who's going to make the decision. And if those people want to have Roy Moore as their elected official, then that's what they want. I mean, there's no denying that, and that's what is very interesting about it. Because all I heard today was all these people that need to step aside and step down and all this other garbage. The people will decide who they want. End of story.
And this goes further than just your senators. I talked about earlier today about,
it's up and down.
You better shape up. I'm your boss now. Nothing sums it up for public office. We control who's in our government.
Right. And that's the other thing I always, gripe about on here is people bitch and moan about who's in what office and who's a senator and who's a congressman. And if you don't like it, read up on your recall laws. Read up on what it takes to have a recall election and get these people out. Bottom line. Right? So, everybody's all, well, what if Roy Moore wins? Well, then now the Senate has to do, what the hell, the ethics thing or whatever it is that they're doing right now for the same thing they're doing for that Democrat on corruption charge or whatever.
Yeah, the ethics committee investigation.
Yeah, the ethics committee. Okay, so that's great. You know what? If they don't like it, then they can execute a recall election and make it happen. But all anybody wants to do is bitch and moan and not do anything. They think bitching and moaning and all this social justice warrior bullshit actually makes a difference. No, go hold a fucking recall election. Get out there and make a difference. I have friends on the Facebook and whatnot, and all you ever see them do is bitch and moan about this policy or that policy or something that somebody fucking tweeted. But for crying out loud, have a plan. Right? Don't come with a complaint without a fucking plan. Period. If you don't have a plan, or you don't have anything that's better, or you don't want to try and elect somebody else or try to make a difference, shut the fuck up and sit down.
Move, follow, or get out of the way, and you better not pick option 3. It's our fucking lives these people have to make decisions about, from taxes, God help us, to fucking net neutrality. These people have to make decisions. We elect them. If you don't like it, fucking these options are available on all levels of our government. The only part of our government we don't have a say in is the Department of Justice, and there's a very good reason for that one.
Right.
So go and do something about it instead of just, oh, God, feel the burn. Oh, no, I stand with her. Oh, no, I'm going to go cry for 10 hours.
Yep.
Until she comes out as a condolence speech.
And again, as far as I know from everything I've read and the research I've been able to do, the only person that can't be recalled, have an election recall done on him, or them rather, the proper them, is the POTUS. Because that takes an act of Congress, i.e. the House of Representatives brings the articles of impeachment, and the president is put on trial in the Senate. And the only person that resides over that Justice Supreme Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. That's who sits over the trial. So let's see. And there's only been, I don't know, 2 impeachments that have ever happened.
Oh no. Gets better. Last week, articles of impeachment were shot down unanimously.
Got crushed.
Out of all the fucking things.
Oh, hold on, I'm going to pull that up because I saw that statistic. Hold on.
All of 456 to 43, I think, or 48, something like that. But out of all the fucking things our Congress said, well, this is something we all should get behind. Now, fucking Democrats, fucking Democrats and liberals, y'all ain't got a fucking leg to stand on because y'all said, oh, well, let's keep them in the office. I see another goddamn one of you fucking bad-mouthing the president. I'm going to sit there and go, but you voted to keep him in. And every one of us should do the same thing so we can keep all of our assholes on track. Because guess what? Government shutdown could be happening the next couple of days.
364 to 58.
Thank you. I knew it was something like that.
That's pretty awesome. Now let's be real here. Most of that was along party lines. So let's say the 58 was probably along the party lines, and everybody else was like, "We don't got time for this shit."
Well, it's like they voted on that. Meanwhile, there's possible government shutdown.
Yeah,
regarding healthcare.
Right. So
the fuck.
So here's the thing: is they approved this this 2-week stopgap, right? That's what they approved on, what was that, fucking Thursday, right? Let me look at my calendar. Yeah, the 7th. So on the 7th, they approved a 2-week stopgap that carries us to the 22nd.
Correct.
Of December. So I haven't heard any negotiations. I haven't heard any news or read any news about any negotiations that are going on for fixing the budget, and making this happen. I see it coming to a head and right quick and in a hurry. Because I don't see anything that's going to change between now and then. I really don't. 2 weeks is not enough time, in my opinion, 2 weeks is not enough time to try to negotiate everything that they want to happen. And if it comes to a head like everybody's predicting it will be, with the POTUS pushing for his wall funding to be in that budget, because he didn't push for it in the one prior to the stopgap, and then the DACA issue that the Democrats want to throw into the budget, the spending bill. If either of those come before Trump, I see him not signing it.
Yeah. And then we're going to have a government shutdown, and then I can't go to the national park, to freeze my ass off in my, gym shorts and Henleys.
Yeah, well, some of us won't be able to go to work at all.
I mean, yeah.
So don't.
I was trying to make light of this.
Yeah, well, I know, I understand that, and you hope those that fall in that situation where you can't go to work, that either you get to make up your time, or it's you get free vacation basically, and it becomes PTO. But you just never know, and you don't want to be put in that situation.
And even further, like here in the last time we had a government shutdown, right?
Right.
Things like the library here in Nashville, the Metro Library, that's government. That was shut down. All the very important, Legal Aid Society, which is a private organization, was not able to get any work done. Why? Government, DOJ, shut down. All those fucking things that are necessary for day-to-day functioning of a major city, shut down. Do you know how economically nasty it was? I don't know about, I can't speak for New York, I can't speak for Los Angeles, but I can speak for Nashville. It was disastrous.
Oh, let's see. They actually did a number. Hold on.
On how it affected private enterprise.
Yeah. Once money loss.
Here we go. Google. Almighty Google.
Let's see here.
And Dale brings up in the Facebook chat VA disability, and I had my GI benefits go through. I don't have any disability benefits.
Right.
But
there are some things that are protected.
Yeah. But God help you, what if you are disabled and you only get disability benefits and they don't go through?
Right.
Oh, fuck me. What are you going to tell your landlord?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right?
Oh, sorry, so-and-so, I can't pay the rent. The government shut down my money. Well, fuck. He can't kick you out now because it was abjectly out of his control.
And that's the other thing is that all those people, and the one I knew a couple of individuals who were affected by the last one there in 2013. I think that's when it was. And had they not been, they were in a good position, for where they were and whatnot. But what about those individuals who, like you say, like they are making it paycheck to paycheck and whatnot, and then that money gets cut off? What do they do? Right?
Suffer.
Yeah. They can't make ends meet at that point. They can't do everything that they need to do to make things happen. So it fucks everybody over, basically, is what it does. And there's nothing that can make up for it, ever. You just can't make up for the stress and heartache and, I guess face lost based on that situation.
Bastards.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. Let's see, and I don't see anything new about it. Yeah, I don't see any updates. So hopefully they've got 10 days. Yeah, 10 days as of today to try to work it out. But we'll see what happens in the next 10 days, because I'm pretty sure it's on nobody's radar. It won't be on the radar until, I don't know, 3 days prior to it happening.
Yeah. This is just up there with the fucking net neutrality bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Government shutdown cost $24 billion. That's B. $24 billion.
Government $24 billion.
No. It cost $24 billion.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. $24 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah, hold on.
For what, 6 days? Or was it 5 or 6 days?
$24 billion. That's according to an estimate from Stanford and Poor's. The financial services company said the shutdown, which ended with a deal late Wednesday night after 16 days, took $24 billion out of the U.S. economy and reduced projected fourth quarter GDP growth from 3% to 2.4%. Here are the breakdown of some of the economic costs by our calculations. About $3.1 billion in lost government services, according to the research firm IHS. $152 million per day in lost travel spending, according to the U.S. Travel Association. $76 million per day lost because of national parks being shut down, according to the National Park Service. And $217 million per day lost in federal and contractor wages in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area alone. Think that's $24 billion. Now in the grand scheme of things, it's a drop in the bucket in the entire scheme of the budget, right? It is a significant chunk of money. Don't get me wrong, $24 billion. That'll fund a small country probably, but that's a lot of money that's being lost and generated for those institutes. I mean, just alone the national parks. A lot of their money is deriving from donations, right? And small fees, because all that. So we'll take DC, and the National Mall there, right? All the Smithsonian's, all that stuff is free, right? It takes donations to run on. Mm-hmm. And if you close it because you can't pay the government workers that are there from the national parks money, then people are not coming through. People are not giving the donations in the donation box that are usually right up front. Mm-hmm. And I've watched it. I don't know if you've been there recently, but a dollar makes a difference. Because if you get 100,000 people coming through your doors a day, and the average donation is $1, shit, you just made $100,000 in that day to help keep you running.
It's one of those things that's just, I don't know. It's just fucking appalling that, you know, in less than a 5-year period, we are looking at another possible government shutdown over a very stupid thing. And I'm using stupid very liberally here because all parties involved, from the president to the Congress to the Senate, all of them are fucking retarded. Healthcare and budget and all of these fun little things, they're complicated, but you can always find, what's that magic word? Common fucking ground, a compromise.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Sure.
You'd hope so. Doc and Mixer Chat, the VA is funded a year in advance. I got that, Doc. A lot of the stuff might be funded a year in advance. However, paychecks are not.
And the VA,
the
even though they're
schedule.
funded a year in advance, I can actually pull up that fucking email. I have that.
Yep. So a lot of the stuff might be funded, i.e. benefits and whatnot. But the individuals it takes to process claims and cut checks and things like that, and paying the workers themselves, is not funded in a year in advance. Which would be fucking great if it was. Which is why a lot of times government contractors can still work, depending on how their contract's written, because that money's already paid. Well, most times that money is paid, because you pay for the service as it rolls along, and usually it gets paid in advance for services that will be received. And that's why, you know, contractors usually don't suffer as badly as government civilians.
Mm-hmm. God, where is that fucking... I had an email from the VA from like 2 years ago.
Yep.
It's like, we're sorry, we had financial issues. You're not going to get GI Bill benefits. And all of a sudden, I'm trying to find it because it was...
Stefan in Mixer Chat also says, are they going to pay workers to put up cones again around federal parks? I think when that happened, that was the Federal Parks Police, and they probably would fall under that caveat, which is emergency essential services, which are usually is one of those protected services that cannot be turned off, basically. And they usually work at a reduced rate, i.e. they'll get some paycheck, but not all of it. Kind of like I remember getting 55% of my paycheck when I was on active duty, when those scares happened. And that was interesting to see 55% of a paycheck. And then once everything got rolling again, they signed the bill. I got 3 checks in the back half of the month, basically. I got a 55% check. I got the other 45% of that, and then I got a full paycheck on the end of the month, on the first.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. So yeah. So let's think about it. That's $2013. Right?
No, don't adjust for inflation.
I won't. I'm just saying that's from 2013. So you can only imagine what it would cost now.
I have to look it up. I hate you. I have to look it up. 24 billion, you said?
$24 billion was cost due to the government shutdown. Out of the U.S. economy, that's what the U.S. economy lost, was $24 billion.
They due to inflation. God.
Why you got to look that up? You don't have to look that up, brother. You don't.
Oh, good. Doesn't say. Oh, thank God. Hasn't been that much change. Okay, so 24 billion is still 24 billion. Okay. God damn it, 24 billion fucking dollar.
That's awesome.
Yo, not a great first night of Hanukkah present there, reminding me of $24 billion wasted.
Oh, that's right. Happy Hanukkah to you.
Yeah, l'chaim, motherfucker.
Now I can think as the Family Guy episode where Peter tries to convert to Judaism. Sorry.
I can do your taxes. I can make sure you get some goyams in the house. Don't you worry about it. It's like a filter fish. This core is horrible.
So it's very interesting to think that in 2 weeks, basically, $24 billion just vanished. You know,
I'm no. No.
Well, you know, you never know.
The Jew was sitting there cringing, like, "Oh God, we could have reinvested that into something decent, like a proper airplane to replace the F-35."
Oh, Jesus, don't. There's a money pit for you. But it's flying, supposedly. Supposedly it is flying. And hopefully armed soon. I don't know. I don't follow that. I don't follow the F-35 development anymore.
That's about as useful as, following when DayZ is actually going to release from Steam. Developmental hell for 4 years. Don't worry, it's coming out. 4 years later, it's coming out. Don't worry. Oh, actually, yeah, $24 billion. Oh, let's update Bohemian Interactive so that Arma can actually run on a decent fucking operating system and graphics engine. That stupid little game they had for the Army guys do all their fucking HUA training on the computers. That, you can make million market and sell it to the civvies.
EST 2000 what?
Watch civilians playing Arma 3. Oh, fuck me. I gotta fucking hit you just to fucking take a piss.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
Gotta hit Shift WU.
Oh, God.
Bohemian Interactive gets like $3 million a year from fucking the U.S. government for making video games. Just saying, we're in the wrong industry.
Well, the industry's overrated.
I don't know, man. I would love to make $3 million a year to make fucking Army Sims. I'm fucking serious, dude. Although if I made them, it'd be a lot more different. Hey, Private, go ask Sergeant so-and-so about a pricky 7.
Oh, my God.
Push up.
Oh, my God, that's awesome. Why? Go get me an exhaust sample. We still get those all the time. That's one of those, and it's great from from a main page. You see those, it never gets old. There are some things that'll never, ever die in the Army. And those kinds of things will never, ever die. Send in brand new soldiers after exhaust samples. Tell them to go find a box of grid squares. Chemlite batteries. Those things will never, ever die. ID10T kit. That's the best.
Did I tell you about the BA-11s?
The what? No, you have to share. A ball?
I never told you about the BA-11 story?
No. Share the BA-11
It takes a minute,
story.
but it's a story. We get this brand new, fresh fucking lieutenant, and I'm on my way out, and this guy is totally just, I worry for him. And eventually, I go down to one of the sex toy shops out of Campbell, and I pick up a ball of Ben Way balls. The little fucking Kegel balls.
Yeah.
And I'm sterling silver and magnetized. I had a friend. I made friends with one of the CIF guys, so I had him print up a fake CIF sheet that had BA-11s, spelt out BA space 11S, issue 2. So of course I'm going through my stuff, and I let an NCO know what's going on, and and I'm sitting there, and the lieutenant's like, "Wait, what are these?" I'm like, "They're used to protect your groin in case of an IED." And of course, he asked to see it. So the next day, I bring him in because I was prepared, and I show him how they're applied, which is kind of gay, but hey, we were in the infantry. And he's like, "I didn't get issued these." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And I managed to slip this sheet into, just hide it. So he's like, "It says you got issued them here, sir."
Oh my God, that's awesome.
He's freaking out. So now I have this fucking joke going on. Okay, it's going to last a day or so. He goes to top. He goes first RNCO. The sergeant and the NCO already told them what was going on. They got in on the joke. They wanted copies. Copies were made. Eventually, he went all the way fucking up the chain. Just kept going up and up and up. Asking people, went to CIF, talked to my bro at CIF. eventually I told him like, oh, you can pick them up at Eagles of War. You can pick them up here. You can pick them up at this place. Had him go to one place where I had a buddy working there. Sold him a pair of BA-11s for like $150.
That's terrible.
The guy's money never got spent. We gave him back the check a year later.
Oh my god!
But of course, awesome. Like, fucking dude's freaking the fuck out. And then, not even it had to be like a year later, I finally get a call from him, and I've been out of the Army now for a hot minute. He's like, "Hey, Cos, what are you up to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm living in Nashville. It'd be great to see you, sir." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll swing by. Where do you live?" I tell him. Comes over, and like I open the door, I get just decked in the face.
That's awesome.
And he's like holding the paper in like big bold writing, spelt out as one word with no space in between. BA-11S. Full year. He wore them on deployment. The platoon sergeant was telling me, and then he reaffirmed it. He's like, I wore these on every patrol.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh, holy shit, that's awesome.
It was so worth the bloody nose I got from getting hit.
Oh my god, that's awesome. So, go ahead.
Like, and I told him like you had to like stretch your balls out, put them in between your balls, and what it does is it keeps the blood flow away from it, so that if an IED goes off, it's not gonna, your balls will stay intact. It will keep your penis from getting an erection while in combat. I was going off the walls.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, and I am beat red. So I threw a message in Facebook Live in the Mixer asking for the nation for their best ones. Keys to Area J, that's always a good one. Exhaust samples we covered. Headlight fluid, that's always a good one too. D-Labs, need to change the summer air out for winter air. That is awesome. You got Humvees with flat tires. That's fantastic. Let's see what... Stefan and Mixer. Yes. The armor units were notorious for that. You take a ball peen hammer and you look for the soft spots in the armor. And anytime it makes a ping, you mark it with a chuck because that's a soft spot in the armor.
I have another horrible story. I saw headlight fluid. I have another horrible story. Horrible. Fucking. Oh my god. Best private in the world. I think he's an NCO now. But like his dad was a ASE certified mechanic and everything. So first they told him, go get an exhaust sample. Go get an exhaust sample. And they tell him, and the kid, his dad's an ASE certified mechanic, disappears for 24 hours, doesn't even show up for morning muster, comes back, he's at the motor pool with an O2 sensor reading for the Humvee. Next motor pool Monday. Okay, you need to go find keys for the Humvee.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
Yeah, sure as shit, tells him keys for the Humvee. Contacts the Tennessee National Guard, finds a truck that still had keys, a prototype that was sitting in their yard.
That's awesome.
Disappeared for 2 days, comes back, keys to the Humvee with a guy from the National Guard unit.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile,
awesome.
Fucking NCO's railing. Box of grid squares. He ordered a box off of Amazon.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw another one here. Squelch fluid. Wait, where is that? Hold on. Squelch spray. I saw another one. Where is it? Oh, can of squelch. Pull start a Humvee. That's good. Oh, that one's good too.
Oh man. I got the worst one that was pulled on me. I was told Pricky 4. And I already knew what Pricky 4 was. And the guy said, I was like, I'm not going to do that. And the specialist in there, why aren't you going to do that? Why aren't you going to? Because you're telling me to call someone a prick.
Yep, basically.
I know what happens next.
Yep. Oh, you just start sending that up the chain.
Okay.
Oh my god, those are good. Man, again, those are ones that they'll never die.
They did me with exhaust sample though.
Yeah. So I cut my teeth in an armor unit, and we will not say which one, but the one we had paladins, right? Motorized artillery.
Oh God, yes.
and you'd send the new kid, and they usually did too, like the new lieutenants, a boom check.
Oh no.
Got to open the breech and yell "boomed" down the tube for a boom check to make sure it's clear.
I have.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God. And people do this?
Supposedly, yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, Stephen, I never thought of that one. Oh,
which one? ID10 people?
Mixer. No. That's a good one too. But I never thought of that one. Zeroize the Ethernet cables. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh,
fucking with privates. Not even a private. Fucking with recruit. Oh, okay. Kid actually playing Arma like 2 weeks ago. Kid is all excited to join the Marine Corps. He's going to recruit San Diego Recruit Depot. All excited. He had a celebratory party. Got a little drunk. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he lives in Colorado. Got a little drunk and smoked a little weed. Okay, they'll push back his ship date, but he doesn't know that. Mm-hmm. So I start fucking with him. I mean, hard. I'm like, dude, you need to call your recruiter right now. Right now. And by the way, it was 2:30 in the fucking morning for him when I told him.
Dude, why?
Right.
Oh my God.
Let him know what you've done. Oh my God, you can go to Leavenworth. You can do this. This is gonna happen. Fake date this. Kid is ultimately, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Gets off. He leaves his microphone on. He's still in the Discord talking to his recruiter at 2:30 in the morning. And his recruiters, you can hear like the hate of, what the? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm just pushing your fucking date back. Click. And you heard him sweating bullets the entire time, thinking, oh God, I'm getting the book thrown at me. Oh no, okay, I'm just getting my ship date pushed back. But the minute he gets back on, he's like, you just told me a bunch of bullshit. I'm like, yeah, but you know what I didn't do? What? Smoke weed 2 weeks before I go to basic training.
Dumbass.
Like 3 weeks of that shit.
Oh man. So I did a refresh, not to change subjects, but I did a refresh on the special election in Alabama, and
Sweet.
the current polling percentage is that Doug Jones, the Democrat candidate, is crushing it at 59.1% of the vote to Roy Moore's 39.9.
Sweet. Well, Alabama, it's been fun with your guns.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing about that is that, and I just saw, so the GOP will shrink from a 51 to a 49 advantage, where it was 52 to 48. So that one seat is going to cost them a vote, obviously, and it's going to make it that much more difficult for anything to pass in the Senate. Mm-hmm. Especially if when push comes to shove here in about 10 days with the budget. So
yeah,
and that's the other scary thing. As these as the votes change and the shift of power basically in the Senate there happens, it's one more vote that the GOP has to worry about in securing any type of legislation in the Senate. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the coming days. And with that, this has been a good first hour. It's already at the top of the hour, and I think we're gonna go to break, and we'll be back. You got anything before we go to break?
Remember that a birthday suit means you're nude, and the police don't like that.
And on that note, we're going to go break. So, Nation, we'll be back here in about 9 to 10 minutes. And we'll see you on the other side. Shots.
Shots!
soft mind. To the ones who granted you in. There's got to be another way. We will not embrace this play. It's my place to be a part of the hate and pain that I beg you to eliminate. All this destruction and hate, how do you think it came to this? We are not the ones to blame. We did not create this. You hold us responsible. You blindly believe the lies, ignoring the truth. You avert your eyes. There's got to be another way. We will not embrace this play. It's my place to be a part of the hate and pain that I beg you to eliminate. I am the repulsive reality you refuse to accept. I am the weapon until required is safely kept. I am the means to the end you refuse to secure. I am my place to be a part of the hate and pain that I beg you to
It is that a hero needs saving, how he needs that support to keep his roof from caving, holding tight on that 45 as a tear drops from his eye. Picturing his mom is all that's kept him alive, cause he's buried his friends and he's burying his world, expected to be the rock solid from bottom to top. He's so hard in the streets, but inside he feels so soft. He's dodged bullets and knives, stopped men from beating wives, but boom, someone tries to take his gun and now he took a life. And all you do is stare, spread rumors, he don't care, replaying that moment, can't disown it with a gun to his hair. It ain't
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, Nation, and we are back for our second hour. And that was a good first hour, KJ.
Yes, it was.
It was, man, it went by pretty quickly. And so the last update I got, I was looking at I was trying to update that race again, and it looks like they're going to call it for the for Jones there. I think it's Dale Jones' name, the Democratic candidate for that special election for that Senate seat in Alabama.
Well, people wanted a Democrat over a alleged pedophile, and can't argue with that.
And it's to each their own, and we discussed that in the first hour. There is that the people have got to start making they got to start making their choice, right?
Yeah.
So it's and that's what it comes down to. Yeah. So it looks like the people of Alabama are speaking, and it looks like it's going to be Jones for the win.
And good to him. Good to him. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully, he doesn't take all the fun out of Alabama.
Right. And let's be real here. Like, you know what? People vote their conscience. They vote with the political policy ideals and alignment and things of that nature. And so, yeah, let's just hope. Let's hope. Doc and Mixer. No, they're calling it for the Jones. At the moment, they're calling it for Jones. He was leading. Last poll I checked, he was still leading 50. Oh man, now I got to pull it back up. Thanks, Doc. God bless it. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Alabama Senate race.
The latest update is about the race and gender gap for the election.
Whoa. So I have an update as of 60 seconds ago. This is NPR. It flipped.
What?
Yeah. What? Like literally, I just pulled it up.
Send me a link, bro.
Hold on. This is about to get interesting. Stand by.
CBS is I don't fuck. You know, fuck it. I don't care. It's politics.
Yeah.
They can get out there about a fucking
next. Hold on. They're getting ready to do another update.
Here we go.
Yeah. So Roy Moore is now leading at 51.4%, with Doug Jones trailing at 47.2%. Man, Nation, we will continue to watch this and keep you updated throughout the night. I will keep this tab up, and because this is about to get interesting.
Yeah, it auto updates, so you don't have to constantly refresh the page,
which is nice. And this is again this is NPR where we're getting this from, guys. So this isn't Fox, this isn't CNN, this is actually NPR, which is pretty neutral. If I had to take a swing at it, and that's as of 2111, with 27% of precincts reporting. So this is going to be close. We'll keep you updated, Nation.
Oh lordy.
Wow.
I wouldn't want Alabama tonight.
No, not. It's going to be. And here's the other thing about that, and we'll cover this real quick. It could trigger a recall or a recount. Sorry, depending on how close it is.
Oh.
And then it gets all fucking up in arms, and all kinds of weird shit happens then at that point.
Oh God, no, I don't need this headache.
Yep. So there's that. And we'll all right, so let's get to another story, and we'll update after. We'll do an update after our next story.
Which?
Oh, let's talk about the New York incident.
Oh God.
Hey! This is the current news. This is, and I know.
It's just I can't pronounce this. I tried pronouncing his name earlier, and I just couldn't get his name right. So I keep just calling him terrorist scum.
We can
fuck me.
We can do that. We can keep it with terrorist scum, or Ula, Aked Ula is what I think. But terrorist scum works for me. I'm good with that.
Google, help me out. How do I pronounce this name?
Don't rely on the Google for that one.
I'm doing it. How to pronounce?
Come on, pronounce? Google. Oh, hold on. Let's see if KJ gets the Google to tell him how to pronounce it.
Well, Okay, I got a link to the Anarchist Cookbook.
You should probably exit that. I'm just saying.
Not
Where's OPSEC money? OPSEC monkey when we need him.
OPSEC monkey, we need you. OPSEC monkey.
He might take offense to that. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it was the Batman theme, but with monkey noises instead.
Yeah, let's not ever do that again.
But his name is. I quit.
Just give it up. It's okay. Nobody's going to be angry at you for not knowing how to pronounce it. We'll just call him terrorist scum for now. All right, but I will give it a crack as we go through this story that you so kindly fed me. All right. This is coming out of USA Today. Take it for what it's worth. New York. Bangladesh native Aked Ullah taunted President Trump in a Facebook post minutes before igniting bedlam with a botched bombing in New York City's crowded Times Square transit hub at rush hour, authorities said on Tuesday. On the way to carrying out the December 11 attack, Ullah posted a statement on his Facebook account that stated, "Trump, you failed to protect your nation," according to a federal court complaint filed by Special Agent Joseph Ciriello with Homeland Security Investigations and the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. The 5-count complaint charges the Brooklyn resident with bombing a public place, use of a weapon of mass destruction, providing support for the Islamic State, destruction of property by fire or explosives, and use of a destructive device in furtherance of a crime or of violence. Wow, those are some good charges there.
I said it earlier, and it still boggles my mind. How, on the greater scale, I mean, at the most value for a weapon of mass destruction with a nuclear device, and now I'm assuming based off this article, it's the first time I've seen that used as a complaint, and if it's been used before, correct me.
I want to say they used it for the Boston bombing.
Okay.
I want to say they used it for what was the other one? Say again.
The legal beagle in me is like tweaking, like, you know, if that's the case, we're classifying a pipe bomb as weapon of mass destruction. What's the definition then legally for one to use that? Because it could be applied. You know, I was arguing it could be applied to like an AR-15 with a 100-round magazine, or fucking.
And that's where you'd have to get one of those legal beagles on what constitutes a weapon of mass destruction. And I'm going to guess that it's laid out on weapon type and other nuances that fall under that classification to bring that charge. I am not a legal beagle, and all I can do is speculate on how they would apply that charge. But I do know is they have used it for other bombings.
Oh, it's right. Never mind. It's well in the FBI definition. I'm an idiot.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it's any explosive. First thing, any explosive. Okay, not a problem.
There you go. All right.
I'm an idiot. I should have just looked it up in the first place.
Right. So, okay, before we continue on with the article now, because you bring up a good point, is weapon of mass destruction. When did that really start becoming a term that everyday America knows?
2003.
Yeah. All right. So we're looking at these weapons of mass destruction, and now it's because of the shift in culture, the shift in world politics, you know, and whatnot. It's really, and the fight and the war on terror, I guess, if you want to say it that way, it's really driving on how we do policing, I guess, here at home in the U.S. So it's a serious charge, right?
Yeah.
You know, funny, haha. It goes back to that whole thing when I was downrange. You know, the quote unquote MRE bomb. Funny, haha. Explosive device written in your counseling statement or your Article 15. Not so funny.
Yeah.
And then I got schooled on by a couple of JAGs. Like, they'd have a hard time prosecuting that because XYZ. Because technically an MRE bomb is not an explosive device because there are certain nuances that require an explosion.
and like I'm looking how it's defined by the U.S. code.
Right.
And it's explosives, any explosives. So there's no way that an assault rifle,
Right.
So AR, fucking AK, or I come out with an M60 and just with a Rambo bandana on. No, I'm not going to get it with use of a WMD. So
Rambo bandana on. That's impressive.
oh, you bulging muscles and everything.
Let's not get. I've seen your profile picture. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, come on, man! I've been in the gym.
But, all right, so we continue here. All right. Trump and Attorney General Jeff Sessions cited the attack Tuesday in calling for Congress to tighten immigration rules. Ullah came to the U.S. in 2011 on an F4 visa. For those of you who are not tracking, that's a student visa. Oh, no, sorry. F1 visa, student visa. That's available for immigrants with relatives who are U.S. citizens. The chain immigration Trump has vowed to end. Chain migration, there it is. Lee Francis Cisna, director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, also cited issues with the visa lottery at a White House press briefing. Quote, because the criteria are so low, either you have no education at all and very little skills, or you have a minimum of education and no skills at all, he said, and because it's a lottery, pretty much anybody on the planet who's from a qualifying country can take advantage of this, end quote. Acting Manhattan U.S. Attorney June Kim said in a news conference Tuesday that Ullah came to kill, to maim, to destroy, and expected to die in the explosion. He had no respect for American virtues, Kim added. Ullah will find here another great American virtue, and that is justice, Kim said. And that justice will be tough, it will be fair, and it will be swift. Ullah's first court appearance is expected to be a bedside presentment by video conference from Bellevue Hospital on Wednesday, Kim's office said. The bomb suspect was being treated for burns and cuts to his abdomen and hands suffered in the blast. 3 passerby suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Story continues. Ullah, 27, could face a sentence of life in prison, a life term in prison if convicted on on the use of weapon of mass destruction charge. He admitted to investigators that he built the pipe bomb loaded with metal screws, saying he was inspired by the Islamic State, according to the court complaint. Authorities say the bomb only partially detonated a misfire that may have saved many lives. Ullah carried the December 11th attack in part because United States government's policies in, among other places, the Middle East, the complaint stated. Ullah hoped to terrorize as many people as possible and conducted his attack on a workday hoping to impact more people, the complaint alleged. All right. So, yeah, this guy is a total
jackass.
Yeah, that's the least of the worries here at the moment, is a jackass. So, here's the thing. There is an issue with these guys getting into our country. 1. 2, we're not going to catch everybody, and that's what worries me, is that they're always going to be able to slip through somehow or some way undetected, and they will go about their everyday business, ins and outs of their daily lives, while they still plot to do all this stuff.
There was. Do you ever listen to Dr. Michael Savage at all?
I do not.
I get to listen to him frequently because of the time I work. So I work overnight, so I get to listen to him. And last night he brought up an excellent point. We have chain migration, and I'm not saying his is absolutely 100% correct. I said it earlier today. It's not 100% correct, but why not have chain deportation when someone who comes in with chain immigration, they pull shit like this, chain deportation. It would cause especially in societies like the Middle East, where it's tribal politics, it's familiar politics, less state politics, where the family is very withdrawn and involved. Shit like this would not happen as much as if your fucking sister just got accepted to Harvard. Don't you fucking dare think about doing that shit. We're gonna report your ass. It's snitching, but at the same time, if other people are held accountable, especially the person who started it all, who's been there for 5, 10, 20 years, is able to go, I'll fuck you up if you do that, if you fuck our family over.
Right.
That
But that's not the
But I'm not-
culture.
Yeah,
And you know that's not the culture.
I know. But once again, if one family does that and that's my minimum thing here. If one family does that, my minimum quantifiable positive thing here, out of say 50, that one could have been that one that they stopped and prevented could be the next up 9/11 or the next, God forbid, Beirut bombing.
True.
You know,
And I'll give you that point. And it goes back to, something I carry in my profession and something that I always think about and I strive for. I don't want it to be under my watch. I will do everything in my power to keep it from being under my watch. And that's something I've always taken very seriously. And that's something I've always, that's driven me professionally, is I don't want it to be under my watch. No matter where I'm at, no matter what position I'm filling in my profession, it should not happen under my watch.
Exactly. And even if it doesn't stop, let's say, God forbid, that 1 in 50 number I gave, 49 events happen, then that's 49 families that don't deserve to be U.S. citizens, that don't deserve to live in one of the greatest countries in the world, that don't believe in American values and don't believe in the American people and the American dream. No, sorry, you fucked up.
Right.
By letting your cousin, brother, whatever, be this kind of a dick.
Yep. So that goes back to the complaints that were filed by, and I don't want to say complaints, but SIAR, fucking the Council of American Islamic Relations, was complaining about today. I think that it was via a tweet or something, and they were complaining about that the family was being interviewed in relation to this attack because of this individual. And both SIAR and the family received immediate backlash amongst Twitter. And it was swift and it was quick. Now,
what's the name of the fuck it, I'll just look up Dipshit's name and Twitter.
Yeah.
I should probably pull it up.
So SIAR, the Council of American Islamic Relations, I think is what it is. So they released a statement, and then about the family complaining about interviews and whatnot going on with their family members in relation to the attack, which falls in line with what you were saying. Chain immigration, chain deportation. I'm good with that. I don't, and maybe it's coming. Who knows? That would be fantastic, would it not?
But even then, I'm all for compromise. It's one of my biggest things, and that's just it's a radical point right there of chain immigration, chain deportation. But there's always a way to this is where this is what will happen. Your entire family will get deported. That is a good place to base off. Even though it's very radical, you can definitely moderate it a bit more to where, if you go in for a drug charge, for weed, whatever. Yeah. But if you go in and you just killed 30 cops, and you brought down fucking the Empire State Building, bye-bye.
So what you're saying is to grade it on a scale? Because you'd get pushback on both sides on that.
Yeah.
You would. There would be pushback on both sides saying, oh, that's not fair, and oh, that's not harsh enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So
honestly, it's one of those things of you can't have chain deportation without at some form of compromise as to why are you deporting the whole family. There has to be some level, and but that's the point of a compromise. Everyone gets a little bit of something. No one is truly happy because they all had to give up something as well.
Right. And that's everything we're founded on is compromise, right? Because that's how we roll here. That's the way it works in the U.S. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So, man, I'm just glad it was not as successful as it could have been, based on what the story is saying and whatnot. Again, the story we're reading, Nation, is in the USA Today article. It's a USA Today article covering it, and they also list the I would say the affidavit. Is that a good way to say that? The charge sheet.
Yeah, the complaint.
The complaint. So the complaint is also posted there, and you can read it. and it lists all the complaints out and whatnot. And it even has a couple of screenshots of the attack itself, and they point him out in one screenshot, and then they point out, and then it's the aftermath shortly after the detonation of the device.
Now I am gonna say this, and this is speaking purely from a been there at the. I grew up in New York. I grew up in New York City. I played around there all my young adult life. Honeymooned there. Love the city. However, why the fuck would you go for the Port Authority bus terminal? Bitch, you ain't gonna get nothing there.
But now here's the thing though, is that he wanted, based on the chart, the complaint sheet, is that he wanted to do it on a work day.
Correct.
Okay, he wanted so
in the middle after transit happened. So you can assume minimal loss of life. But if he was doing it for the Islamic State,
what?
and he wanted to do a good job, and I'm not condoning it. I'm saying if I was in his shoes and I was doing this to like Russia,
right,
I would shut down an entire subway system.
Now
I would go for that.
Don't
because
get me wrong.
buses, the thing with New York is if you disable the transit, as evident in 9/11, walking across the Throgs Neck Bridge is not fun. Walking across any of those bridges ain't fun. And it shut down the airports. It shut down everything. You shut down a subway system, you've just overloaded that entire time-sensitive system for the pretty much the economic capital of the United States.
right, and so I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but it's New York City, okay, one of the most populous.
24 million people on that 5 Mile Island.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna get your numbers.
Yeah, but there was I don't know. It's the argument of the dumb enemy versus a smart enemy. A dumb enemy, you don't know what they're gonna do, and unpredictability, which is a strength in the same way, versus a smart enemy where you can anticipate what they're gonna do, but they're a smart enemy.
Yeah, and that's the game we play, right?
Yep. Oh, and I see you, Golden. You're asking for a hotline number. Our phone number is 415-889-8367. 415-889-8367.
Yep. I think we might try and take calls in the third hour.
Oh, we'll take calls in the third hour. Gopher.
Yep. So the one thing I want to point out is that that's kind of got overlooked with everything that's going on. Is everybody's praising the first responders. Everybody's talking about, the police and whatnot. And there was an unsung, let's see here. There's an unsung section that didn't get a lot of praise. And that is those individuals that are involved with Joint Task Force Empire Shield. And a lot of those guys that were first on the scene and whatnot are part of the New York National Guard. There are 5 individuals, and I'm trying to find this. I lost the story. Hold on. Did I send it to you, KJ?
No, I do not have it, my friend.
1 second. I thought I sent it to you.
But it was NCO, a junior NCO, and
yep, and a couple
3 low listed.
Right, and they were there first on the scene. Okay, guys, it was, and they're not getting a lot of praise, right, because they do this. So, real quick, the Joint Task Force Empire Shield's mission is such, and this is from a PDF that I found online. And you can Google it and find it. Joint Task Force Empire Shield conducts Homeland Security operations in the New York City metropolitan area in order to deter and prevent terrorist acts. On order, conducts defense support of civil authority operations in order to save lives and reduce human suffering. All right. Bottom line, staffed by soldiers, airmen, naval militia, and New York Guard members on SAD status. Right, so there it is. So these guys were first on scene. There's a photo. We've got it on the main page if you want to take a look. We did a quick blurb, a quick shout out to them, and it's great things that they did. Right. Here it is. After the attack, and this is from a story we published almost 24 hours ago. After the attack today, the police have been getting a lot of credit and thanks. However, there's a group of soldiers who responded and were omitted from media reports. These soldiers were also first on the scene, helped apprehend the suspect, and assisted in securing the area. It's a largely unknown mission. These guys are out there every day, part of the, like I said, Joint Task Force Empire Shield with the New York Army National Guard. Guys, thank you for all you do. Thank you for being on watch. I thought that was a great unsung story that not everybody's getting to hear tonight. So I want to give those guys a shout out.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the coolest parts as I'm reading through, as they're headquartered at Fort Hamilton, New York, but they have a QRF right there. Where the hell was it? Where's the QRF? I just saw it too. The QRF is at the God damn it!
What, did you lose the story?
I just lost where the QRF was based out of. But basically, they have. God, I just had it too, and I just fucking lost it. But they are a fully functioning, ready to rock and roll division style of let's knock it out here in New York City for security, humanitarian assistance, and CBRN. Boom, nuclear, biological, radioactive. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yep.
0.7. These guys earned a 4-day.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're right there in the New York metropolitan area. That's all it really says.
No, I had it somewhere.
Oh, you have it?
Not exactly where the QRF was, but a bit more narrowed down.
Oh, so they're headquartered at Fort Hamilton, if that helps.
Yeah, I know they're headquartered.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from New York, and I'm in some Facebook groups, and they're trying to find them to give shit out, and they found a bunch of them, but they won't talk, and that's where the QRF is.
Well, yeah. Well,
we're not. Sorry, we don't believe. We don't live here. We don't. Yeah, that's probably where the QRF is.
Oh. Yeah. So. Yeah. So I mean, it's good, right? So those guys got their shout out. They did excellent work that day. I mean, you couldn't ask for guys that were.
Fuck easy.
Yeah. Are you still looking for it?
Yeah. Now I'm sorry. I got sucked into it because I'm following this. I'm following this group I'm in, and they're all like, "Well, they won't talk to us. They don't do anything." And I'm like, "Guys, leave them the fuck alone."
Yeah, leave them alone.
Probably the QRF guys that aren't meant to talk to you, and I'm like, "Why the fuck are they there? That's stupid. They're gonna have to take a railway to wherever the fuck they need to go."
Yeah, and those and those are positions that you just don't want out there. I mean, those are guys that just they go about their business and they they're doing good unsung work, and that's the way it needs to be. Those guys are doing it. All right, so I have an update.
Oh God, here we go.
Here we go. Roy Moore is leading 52.8% to 45.7% in the current vote tally. 62% of precincts reporting.
Roy Moore's going to get it.
Man, this is going to be
It's that whole signature thing too. The minute that chick that alleged the misconduct, the minute she said that she added those notes, almost all of her story now, the credibility is even saying that that's his signature, and that being verified by professionals saying that's his signature. Even then, now it's but you forged the notes.
Yeah,
you forged the stain. He'll okay, cool. He gets a seat. Great. Hopefully, he isn't a pedophile. But
I hope so. Yeah.
That's for the ethics committee and not for me. I'm still reeling at $24 billion.
And 24. You're still reeling at $24 billion.
Jewish, man. That's enough M4s for all of us.
But that's the other thing is that you sit there and you think about that, right? That single seat could swing the coming budget fight. It literally could.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's fighting for, are these seats. And it's gonna, man, I hate it. I hate it for. Yep. And again, it goes back to that thing. If you don't like it when it happens, recall election, plain and simple. Everybody, the people don't. I really don't think that the citizens of the U.S. understand the power that they have to be able to fix these situations. Right?
Yeah.
And it would be, if they started to learn these rules and laws on how to execute this mission, it would be a lot better. Plain and simple.
So someone in the Mixer chat posted something from Tribeca Citizen, which is where are the World Trade Center soldiers based? And oh man, I gotta take. I'll take screenshots of what's going on in my Facebook group to send you, Grey Cloud.
All right.
But it's just like I didn't realize this component was so active.
Yeah.
I knew they were active, but I didn't realize they were this active. Where it's like, what the hell are they doing here? And people are freaking the fuck out.
Right. So covering down on Doc's comments there. I agree, Doc. And I know Ice covered this last night on the Monday edition, is that this delay of individuals filing these complaints, right, needs to happen sooner. And yes, the accused have rights. I am a staunch supporter of due process. It's what our foundation, it's what the U.S. justice system is built on. Due process, innocent until proven guilty. However, because of this social justice warrior movement, right? It's not that way anymore. If people start calling you out on Facebook and Twitter and all these other things, obviously you're guilty, right? They want, all these people want this stuff looked into and all this other garbage.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sorry. Until there are charges filed, nobody should have to do shit.
Yeah. It's like with Al Franken. As much as I didn't like the representative,
right?
He resigned, and he resigned because of public opinion, not because he was guilty, but he just resigned.
Right, and that's what kills me, is that, you know, it shouldn't happen to anybody. Nobody should be sexually assaulted. Nobody should be sexually harassed. Okay, but two, it's an allegation, and until charges are brought, people are entitled to due process. Period.
Correct.
And even when charges are brought, they're still entitled to due process. Again, we don't have. It's the justice system, and our faith in the justice system is what keeps it pure and what keeps it going forward. I had
a very close friend of mine post and this is nothing to do with the senator or anything, but Brock Turner, the guy that got away with such a short sentence for rape.
Yep.
Yeah. He's appealing his case. All right, as is his constitutional right to an appeal.
Right.
And my friend shares a petition, says, "Oh, you need to sign this petition saying that not to overturn his case." And, you know, it's me being the dumbass that I am. I respond, I'm not going to sign it because he has a constitutional right to appeal. And the shitstorm that followed.
Oh, my God.
I was the worst human being in the world. How dare I believe in the Constitution? You must be a racist.
Oh, my God.
You must be a rapist.
And that's the fallback for those individuals, because you believe in due process, you believe in individual rights, and following the Constitution and protecting oneself against allegations and a court of law and all this other garbage, right?
Yep.
And that's what kills me, is that it doesn't matter what the allegations say. All right, let me rephrase. Sorry, it does matter what the allegations are. However, take them to somebody who can do something about them. Don't wait for years and years on ends. One, because the statute of limitations has probably expired on some of these, right? So do something about it. And then charges can be brought. And once charges are brought, then they're entitled to due process. And all this thing will be washed out in, guess what? The court system. Not on Facebook, not on Twitter, not on the 24-hour news cycle. In the court system. That's where people are found innocent. That's where people are found guilty.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, and once I'm referring back to my posting, it took me 7 fucking hours to get them all to calm the fuck down out of their New York liberal rage. Same group of people I'm dealing with now about the JTFES. Fucking once I pointed that shit out, what you just said, it was like the fucking dawn just open, like the skies just opened up and God himself just went, oh, but people get so swept up in social justice.
Yeah.
In the immediate and mob mentality.
Yeah.
This is why I like the only thing you ever see on my Facebook page is memes and me having a good time, because I don't want to post my political ideals on Facebook. Because I know what that leads to. It leads to me getting crucified.
It goes to people going against you, calling you a racist, and all those other things, right?
Yeah.
Again, and where does it stop, though? And that's the thing that kills me, is where does it stop?
Oh, it's. I think the funniest time where it stopped, like using my current example, it stopped when they accused me of being a racist, anti-Semite, and immediately birth certificate Jew.
You pulled.
You're a racist, bigoted anti-Semite Jew.
You jumped in with the Jew card?
Oh, I jumped in with the Jew. I jumped in with the birth certificate. I just took a picture of the New York State birth certificate.
That's awesome.
From New York, and it's like, oh yeah, we did go to middle school with this kid. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's apparently.
What?
Apparently,
That's awesome.
That too itself got questioned.
Oh my God. The Jew's an anti-Semite and a bigot. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's fantastic. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Okay. Explains the Nazi fetish.
Anyways, back on the farm.
But it's just I sympathize, like President Trump right now. President Trump has allegations against him,
Right.
for sexual misconduct.
Right.
And great, he's the president. He's got some immunity from having to show up in court stuff. He's got some.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is that all covered in law, and that's all covered in code. So let the lawyers figure that garbage out, right?
Exactly.
I saw it today. 100 plus congresspersons, we'll call it that, are calling for an investigation or into the allegations of Trump. That's great. They're allegations. Okay, they're not even charges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's let everything play out. If he's charged, by all means, let the justice system work.
But if this is the part that frustrates the fuck out of me. Just because he's accused must mean he's guilty, because that's how it works on the internet.
Let's not go there. It's and again, and that's the problem. And I got it. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these things have brought communication to a new frontier, something that our parents and our grandparents could never have fathomed at the way information is processed. Doc's got a good point in the Mixer chat. The jury pool does get tainted because of the 24-hour news cycle, because of Facebook, because of Twitter, and all this information. It's hard to have a jury that has no outside information anymore. It's almost impossible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so while we're on that,
cell phones aren't allowed. They confiscate cell phones, and they
right.
It's. I mean, it's got to a point like my best friend got called up for jury duty, and they put him up in a hotel, and literally he went from hotel to van to courthouse to van to hotel. Yeah,
they have to order room service. Everything is provided.
Oh yeah, and they had the people that were appointed there to overwatch all the jurors.
Yep.
They had to remove the cell phones, remove the hotel phones
Oh,
remove
shit.
the TV because there was just constant everything.
Oh yeah, I can't. So again, I can't imagine being called to jury duty and getting selected to be on a jury in today's day and age.
It's a
It'd be
nightmare.
hard. I mean, so go back to 90. You know, the OKC bombing. What was that, 96 ish? And the big
When
thing
I was a wee
was
toddler.
is that they asked for a change. The defense asked for a change of venue, and it was granted from Oklahoma City to Denver.
And I'm not very familiar with this case because I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was
so
a
I
toddler.
was.
So please tell me more.
So they to protect and give the best possibility of a, as Doc pointed out, a fair and impartial trial for the Oklahoma City bombers, both Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, is the defense motion for and was granted a change of venue, i.e. the actual trial itself would be held in another location that had no ties to the location where said crime happened. Okay.
Oh yeah, the oh god, what was his name? Fucking Trayvon Martin, the Trayvon Martin case.
So yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. So the only reason I remember a lot of that was I was going through MEPS at the time when when Terry Nichols was being trialed in '99 ish, and it was hard to get to MEPS because the trial was actually going on one of my MEPS visits, and they had closed down several streets around the U.S. courthouse there in downtown Denver.
Done fucked up there.
So yeah, so it was very, very, man, it was interesting to say the least, but it's hard. I don't think you could get that nowadays, right? Because of the 24-hour news cycle, because how easily information is able to attain now via your cell phone, Instagram. Again, going back to all those platforms that we have, you know. And going back to, I mean, we'll go to the current case going on in New York City right now. I'm pretty sure that guy, I don't think that guy will get a change of venue.
No, he won't, because there is nowhere in that state, and this is I can speak the absolute truth here about this. New Yorkers are vengeful motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There is nowhere in that state that he will get a fair and impartial trial for with a change of venue. He will be partialized no matter where he goes in New York. He'd have to come all the way to my neck of the woods for at least that section of fair impartiality to be considered.
Well, and that's the thing is that you couldn't have it if, you know, they asked for a change of venue and it was granted. You have to go well outside the Eastern Seaboard at least.
Oh yeah.
To try and find a pool that would not be quote unquote tainted from the news coverage. But let's face it, that again,
there is not a single person, a single major metropolitan area that is not tracking what happened in New York.
There's not.
And if that case gets moved from let's say hypothetically New York, we'll go to the extreme, Honolulu,
Well, that'd be
Hawaii.
interesting.
I know, I'm going to the extreme here.
That would be way interesting.
They have 24-hour news coverage. They've been kept up to date and hearing NBC, ABC, CNN, Fox
Right.
News. Everyone put their 2 cents in about it.
Yeah.
No one is going to be able to be impartial with how the current communication systems are set up.
It's not possible anymore. It's just not possible anymore.
And the best part is the DOJ has recognized this multiple times, and they're racing to keep. I mean, they are dead last in this race of trying to keep up because it's constantly evolving. You know, one year it's Snapchat, the next year it's WhatsApp,
Right.
and they have no way to get ahead of the curve.
And that's the other thing. And I hate to say this, that whole, when I was a younger soldier, that what was that phrase? Every soldier's a censor, right?
Yeah,
So, and that's what it's become now. Basically, throughout the world, everybody is a reporter because of the technology you carry in your pocket on your phone.
Oh yeah.
You can stream,
It's-
you can record a 1 minute video, upload it, and the world will see it within minutes, if
Yeah.
not seconds.
Not even just video. Look at Waze, the navigation app. Waze.
Oh, Waze is
communicate-
almost instantaneous.
Yeah, talk to other drivers, immediately update where police checkpoints are, etc. Furthermore, Snapchat stories, 24-hour stories. You can post a whole 24 hours of fucking anything you need to know. Of hey, watch out for this. Watch out in this area.
Yeah.
It's up for.
So Stefan and Mixer chat here. They're holding the trial for the nightclub shooter's wife in Orlando. So apparently they did not get a change of venue.
What did she do?
She
Oh God.
she's connected to it somehow, and I don't want to pull it up because that's just a whole nother issue we'll be dealing with. Knowing you,
I'm just curious for my own.
you can look it up.
There we go. Yeah.
But
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what it was about.
what was it?
It was just she's accused of assisting in the massacre.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I knew that. I just
Yep.
face of the name.
Oh yeah, and it's interesting that again, I guess maybe they didn't ask for it, maybe they did, and it got denied. It's hard to that one would be hard to judge. And here's the other thing though, is, and we'll close out this hour with this thought is that with how do I want to phrase this, with the 24-hour news cycle and as the tainted pools and things like that now, do you think prosecutors are going to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to trying to get a deal?
I'd have to say no.
Because
They're
depending on the charge and they want the death penalty?
well. Let's go to extremes here. Let's go to extreme. Guy gets murder one, and guy gets murder one. It's a open and closed case.
Yeah.
Found camera, witnesses, everything. I mean, there's no way the guy's in the middle of a fucking football stadium. He shoots Tom Brady. We'll go with that extreme.
Well, hold on now, because you just
Please
answered
stop.
a lot of people's
Stop.
prayers.
Knock on wood. Don't kill my Brady. I love you, Tommy.
All
But
joking
he
aside.
just walks to Gillette Stadium, walks up to Tom Brady with the 12 gauge, blasts his fucking head away.
Okay.
Thousands of people see it. It's live on national television. Bam. Everybody's seen it. The prosecutor knows he's got him dead to rights. The prosecutor knows this guy is fucked. The prosecutor knows this guy is going to try to make a deal. The prosecutor now has the opportunity to use the current system we talked about against said defendant. There is no way. You walked out there, you said live on national television, I'm going to kill you, Tom Brady, and you blew his brains out of the back of his helmet. And lo and behold, a good prosecutor like a few we have here in Nashville have done this and used this system that we've talked about in the complete reversal of fuck you. We got it all. We got everything from your little ratchety ass sister taping the cops coming through the door, doing a proper search and seizure, and nailing your ass with because you came out with a micro Uzi.
Right.
Yeah, let's bring. It just depends on the prosecutorial team.
But
Now,
and
New
here's
York
the other
is
thing,
very
though.
liberal.
Here's the other thing, though. If that were to happen, I would see a defense asking for a change of venue and it almost being granted.
And that's where the other issue comes in, as if the defense calls the change of venue. This video, you can't guarantee that person taking the video, for example, will use the Tom Brady thing.
And I understand that. Again,
There's
I
no
understand
way.
that. But let's say, I don't know, you get a change of venue to, let's say, Indianapolis.
Hostile environment.
I'm just saying. Think about it, though.
But then the prosecution can claim that this is a hostile environment and the jury is already predispositioned to ruling in favor of the defendant due to who the victim was.
So then you look for
I mean,
another. You look for another location. Like an NFC
Yeah.
team location. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we'd have to go to, like, I don't know, someone that doesn't hate the Patriots. I mean, what's the only team that doesn't hate the Patriots?
A college team?
Yeah, there we go. So we'd have to
Hawaii? Just saying.
yeah, Hawaii.
Or Alaska that has no pro team.
Yeah, there we go. We go to Alaska,
You go to Alaska.
which has no pro,
Fairbanks.
but all the oil drillers that transit to and from continental to Alaska. Oh snap! We got oil drillers that are coming in from Pittsburgh
Oh,
or from
Lord.
Miami or Tampa or from New York. Jets. New York versus New England. You know, it's no real way to escape that. It's just you have to have a smart prosecution and a smart defense.
And you have a point. I mean, you're pointing for both sides there. But we'll so one update before we go to break, and hold on, it's got 2 seconds. All right, so Roy Moore, the GOP candidate, is currently winning with 50.8% of the vote. Doug Jones is trailing with 47.8% of the vote. And that's as of 21:59 EST. Okay, 77% of the precincts reporting. And we will continue to monitor this nation because this is, again, this is our nation. This is important and should be important to everybody, not just people in Alabama, but across the nation, because this will impact votes in the Senate. End of story. And on that note, I think we're going to go to break. So let's get out some shots and whatnot, right?
It's Friday night and I'm feeling low, and you're the reason that I do so. I'll keep on drinking till I comatose, or I pass out on the floor. You got me staring out the window, 8 hours late and you're a no-show. We're out from your eyes. Can you make it to the other side? Begging for anything, hoping that you find it. If you bleed, you won't feel it. You won't see me at all. You can fight, but you can't hide that you're naked. I don't need more. You leave me nothing. I don't need more. You leave me nothing. And if you bleed, you won't feel it, and you won't see nothing at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. And you can fight, and you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. And you can fight, and you can hide that you're naked. I don't need more. I don't need
WTF Nation Radio.
Is in the house.
All right, Nation, and we are back for our third and final hour. And we're going to get, it's going to be an interesting hour. Again, we'll continue to update you on the election. And let's see. First, I have to remind you, Army beat Navy, 14-13. It continues to scroll across the bottom of the screen. Army beat Navy. 2 years in a row, Army beat Navy. Go Black Knights.
Hell hath frozen over, and God himself is sending angels to what?
Yes, he is. And it's awesome. Go Army, beat Navy. And that's all we'll say about that for a while. So this last hour is going to be pretty good, I think. I think we got 2 more articles to cover. And again, we'll see where it goes after that. But update. Oh my God. 5 seconds and I'll give you the update. Holy cow, this is going to get interesting. All right, so with 85% of the precincts reporting, Roy Moore, the GOP candidate, is leading 49.4% to Doug Jones's, the Democratic candidate, 49%.
It's a real nail biter.
Oh my God, this is going to come down to the wire. Again, 85% of the precincts reporting, Nation. Based on that and how it's gone throughout the night, we should probably have a hopefully declared winner, or at least some kind of inkling whether it's going to be a winner or if it's going to be a recount of some kind before we close out the show tonight. So we will we'll keep you updated throughout the last hour here, and again, this is important. It could swing the Senate. Not a lot, but it'd be enough. One vote's enough to throw everything off.
Just so I'm not going insane here, 49.4 plus 49 equals 98.4 plus 1.5.
Right, that's the write-ins, though.
Yeah, but that's only 99.9% of the vote.
Right, that means there's odds and ends out there that people are voting for, third-party candidates and whatnot.
Yeah, right, I'm not going insane. They're just not counting those.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
So, and I'm pretty sure, like everywhere else, there are probably rules on how that works for a write-in candidate to count and all this other garbage, right? So again, we will keep that on watch. We will keep that on watch here.
So are we going to have a triggering of the KJ hour commence?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh no, all both things
On both things.
will trigger.
You think?
Yeah, because I report. Oh, I do. Oh yeah, I know.
No, come on. Come on.
You'll laugh though. You'll laugh.
Yeah. Okay. So, Nation, if you have not known or recognized that the Army has a new sidearm, and that sidearm is known as the M17, and it is the Sig Sauer P320. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. And it is chambered in the cartridge of 9mm. And the first unit, from what I've read, the first unit that's going to get it is the 101st Airborne.
Air assault.
Oh, God. Are you one of those?
You're goddamn right.
Oh,
2516
my God.
Band of Brothers. Ain't no party without whiskey.
Oh, Jesus, God. Lord help us.
Best unit in the Army.
I used to love you. Not
Still
after that.
do it.
Maybe a little bit. I still love you. So interesting story here now. Sig Sauer to offer a commercial version of the Army's new sidearm. So let's cover this story quick. Sig Sauer, the maker of the U.S. Army's modular handgun system, intends to sell a special commercial version of the full-size MHS 9mm pistol. Quote, we are planning to do a limited release of about 5,000 of the Army variant of the M17 for the commercial market. Tom Taylor, Sig Sauer's Chief Marketing Officer and Executive Vice President for Commercial Sales, told Military.com. The timing is not finalized yet, but it looks to be late spring, i.e. 2018, probably April, May-ish. That's what I think of late spring.
Right time frame.
Yeah. The Army awarded Sig Sauer the MHS contract worth up to $580 million in January. The service launched its long-awaited MHS competition in late August 2015 to replace its Cold War era, I love that, M9 9mm pistol. For those of you who are not tracking, the M9 is the 92, is that the 92 Fox?
92 FS.
FS Beretta, okay? You are better off using it as a bludgeoning tool, i.e. Fallout 4 style.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, you may.
I'm going to interrupt. First of all, I have to congrat Sig Sauer for beating Glock.
Oh, don't even. Don't
Second
even.
of all, fuck you, Sig Sauer. Second of all, the M9 is by far the worst fucking firearm I ever shot.
Oh, you're going to trigger Doc in a mixer chat. You're going to trigger Doc. He loves his.
Okay. When it comes to the civilian variant, I love it. But I got one that was shot more times than there were fucking Russians in the Red Army.
Oh, my God.
And more cockroaches crawling over the goddamn Berlin Wall. And for fuck's sake, this thing smelt like it actually saw time with a Thailand ladyboy, all right? This thing
that's
was
terrible.
just dangerous to hold. I was contracting herpes holding from it.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
Glad they're fucking gone. However, we all saw the video about the P320.
Okay, are you referring to the drop test thing?
Oh, I'm now referring to personal fucking experience. Black Friday.
Oh, my God. Did you buy one?
KJ goes out to go look at some firearms. He goes out later in the evening, goes to his local gun store. And there's this guy there that I've seen a billion times there before who knows his guns, who buys a Sig Sauer P320. So happy he got one because the Army uses it. He's so excited. And He gets the nice fucking Black Hawk Serpa holster and everything, and he puts it in the holster. And instead of just sliding it in by the pistol grip, he slams the strike face with the heel of his hand. He shot out his kneecap.
Oh, damn.
When your own fucking hand and trigger this very dangerous safety restraint, it's a very dangerous fault. No. I don't have that problem with the Glock. I never had that problem with the Glock. Why the fuck wouldn't you go with the Glock? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now, so that again, first of all, have you read the whole Glock calls it a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. Glock did not meet the deadline to submit their weapon for testing. They didn't.
And that's because Glock wanted to provide a quality weapon, not one that could get fucking
hold on. Bullshit, because Glock could have thrown out anything and said, yep, this is the MHS. This is what we're going to throw. They could have tagged it. They could have thrown out whatever, right? They could have thrown out the Glock 17, the Glock 9, whatever. Oh, this is an MHS. Just to get in the testing.
But you know what? Fucking, and you're right, Doc. Glock is not an American company.
No.
I would be even more thrilled if everyone was getting 1911s because fuck yeah, 45 caliber. But for fuck's sake, I don't have this issue with a Glock. All I have to worry about is, God forbid, if I'm a dumbass and put my finger behind the action. Put my thumb behind the action. That's the only thing I have to worry about with the Glock. That's it. I don't have any other problems.
And here's the thing, and I want to cover Doc's thing here. Doc, I agree. For certain items, I believe it should be an American company. Now, if you want to really get into the weeds of it, Beretta wasn't an American company either. Sig Sauer and whatnot. What happens is a lot of these guys have U.S. based, not subsidiaries, but Sig Sauer, let's call it, for all intents and purposes, and I don't know if this is, but Sig Sauer America, right? Sig Sauer United States, whatever it is. Okay.
Sig Sauer America is located about a few hours away from where my wife is from in New Hampshire.
Right. And that business is probably incorporated, I don't know, in fucking Delaware. And that's how they get it, and that's how these companies get these defense contracts, because they have to be American-based companies. So if you want to call it the sub company or the subsidiary, or however you want to word it, is technically, because it's incorporated in the United States, is an American-based company. So therefore, they can bid and compete for defense contracts. And that's how they find that, I don't want to call it a loophole, but that's how they were able to do X thing. And yes, I agree with Doc wholeheartedly. There are many companies out there that make great firearms. Colt, Firearms, Springfield, and Remington. All U.S. owned throughout. Winchester's another one, right? But the problem is getting these companies to compete for these contracts, one, and two, producing a product that's going to win.
And
right?
Okay, I see, Doc. I see where you're going with look at their headquarters are overseas. You can't buy them on the NYSE. I understand that, but I'm not gonna lie. You just point out the M1A12. They have a German cannon. Bro, if there's one country
that knows firepower,
insane about firepower, it's the Germans. You ever notice? Whenever they start a war, they kind of lose, but goddamn, they create some fucked up weaponry. Do we not remember the MG42? I will rely the Steyr AUG. I love the Steyr AUG. I love the fucking. Don't get me started on FALs. Don't get me fucking started on FALs, because FN is one of my favorite companies ever. But American, I would not, unless it was a lever action or a bolt action, I don't trust my life to an American-made semi-automatic weapon. I trust my life to Glocks. I trust my life to FN. I trust my life to fucking, what's the other one? Who makes my AR? Fuck. Now I got to open up my armory.
And don't open your armory right now. But I get so there's this there's this whole thing about staying American for defense. Got it. I understand that. I really, really do. But if the companies don't compete, there's not a lot we can do.
Correct. And you don't get some of the incredible, even just looking at the rounds, some of the rounds. Oh my God. 300 Blackout. 300 Blackout is one of the most competitive rounds out there.
Right. Now, I'll tell you what I'm looking at. So my collection's pretty nice. And I'm always looking for those odd, unique, and larger calibers. The one round I would like to get in my arsenal is a 6.5 300 Weatherby.
Would you be interested in a 6.5 300 Weatherby? I am. Yeah. Nice price.
Nice price. Depending on the platform it's sitting on, 50-50. But that's really the next, other than a 458 Win Mag or a 460 Weatherby, if I can fucking find one. I think that's going to be my next high power rifle is a 6.5 300 Weatherby. But again, that's American made. And that's a round that'll reach for days. If there's one thing that Weatherby does is awesome ballistics.
Yeah. And that's the thing about with the Army selecting the 6R, my biggest issue, and seeing it firsthand. That one point of the pistol is such a fatal flaw when it can be striked with the very heel of your hand, the connection point between your hand and your arm. And it wasn't like it was a hard slam. It was a tap.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to check your from just tapping your wrist real quick instead. It was that hard. And that thing went off. Fuck no. I am terrified for that special forces operator or that lieutenant who's got one in his fucking holster. Horrified about what could happen. As Batman said in Dawn of Justice, if there is a 1% chance, then we can't let that happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Couple of comments in the mixer real quick. Doc says 300 Blackouts for pussies. And Doc says not to get Weatherby Vanguard. Jimmer, he's got one in 300 Weatherby.
I second that. To not get the Vanguard.
The other platforms are great. Yep, Vanguard's bullshit. Again, now but the Vanguard's an entry level Weatherby. It's still Weatherby steel. It's still Weatherby wood. It doesn't come with a fancy W. And I've never, based on what I know, is I've never not seen them back their warranty on that lower line of weapon. Because it's still Weatherby, and that one thing Weatherby's not going to do is not endorse their own shit. No company, it'd be business suicide. And that's what that is. That's an entry-level Weatherby is what that is. Period. Call it garbage, call it whatever you want. It's still an entry-level Weatherby. It still is supposed to carry that Weatherby pride, that Weatherby marksmanship or craftsmanship. It's not the greatest wood. It's not the greatest composite stocks when you get those ones with the composite stocks. But it's still... yes, Doc, it is the cheapest they sell. Again, it's their entry-level line. Period.
I think we can all agree, and I think we can all say this with pretty certainty that we all equally hate the P90. There we go. I think we all equally can say that we all hate the FNP90 because it was a fail. It's a 5.8 and it's just weird. It's just really fucking weird. And hell yeah, Remington makes a great rifle. You know, I don't get me wrong.
Totally.
I love Remington. I love Remington bolt actions. I love lever actions. I'm a cowboy at heart, a New York Jewish cowboy. Go fucking figure.
Fantastic.
But yeah, with a pair of horses, fuck me. But when it comes to my semi-automatics, bro, I ain't gonna. My AKs are my babies. My AKs, my FAL, my ARs. None of them are are from American based. Would I offend you more if I shot you with a Mauser? I would actually probably die pretty happy, Doc. I would. That would make the irony is not
That's
lost on me.
awesome.
I hope you do it in my car while you're shuffling me into a shower. But you know what? That would be pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, I would tell you, and we'll end this this piece with this here. Best piece of advice I ever got when I started shopping for my weapons and whatnot. When I first got into collecting, you just know when you hold that rifle, shotgun, or pistol in your hands, you know it's yours and it's something you should have because it feels comfortable. It feels balanced in your hands or on your shoulder, and it feels right to have. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. That's literally the first. That literally describes the first time I ever held an FAL.
You just
It
know.
was-
Period. And that's
If I had what I could bring with me to any shithole in the world, that would be it.
so if I
Radiation.
yeah, so real quick, if I could bring anything with me in the world, three things. Fucking Remington 870 Express with 18.5 inch barrel. A lever action chambered in 45 long Colt, and a Wilson Combat chambered in 45. Bar none.
That sounds lovely.
In fact, well, if I can save between now and I don't know midsummer, a Wilson Combat might be on the horizon.
Who are you calling a Nazi from Belgium?
Oh, now. Oh, wow, Stefan. That's a good point as well. And that's probably a discussion for another time. Huh?
All of my stuff I can get ammo. 7.62 51 NATO. I can get that. Easy
Yep.
peasy.
I would have issues with my ammunition. Minus 45 ACP, that might be a little easier to get. That is a good point though, Stefan. As all this, as the world starts to burn in front of us, right? And if it were to come to that, could you get ammo quickly for your platforms? That's a good point. That's something I will have to, God forbid, anything were to happen. That's one of those things you have to weigh. So, and we will close out the weapons segment, I guess, with that piece from Stefan. Remember what kind of ammo you got or what you need.
Yeah. Belgium FAL bullshit. Fucking whatever.
Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Long service battle rifle of how many countries?
Yeah, 7.62 is pretty popular. 9 millimeters, very popular. I mean, you can find that probably just about anywhere in the freaking world. All right. Do I have an update?
Do we?
Yes, I do. As of 22/28, it is being called on NPR for Doug Jones. Wow. 91% of the precincts reporting it's being called for Doug Jones at 49.5% to Rob Moore's 48.9%. NPR is calling it as of 22/28. 91% of the precincts reporting.
Well, good for Doug Jones. I hope he does well, and congratulations, Alabama. I hope you get to keep your guns.
Yep. Again, and so the separation's a little right around 6,000 votes, it looks like. So again, we'll wait to see what happens with that. We'll see, because there's still pro 9%, but NPR is calling it, and if we get an update before we close out, we'll let you know. So we'll end with that at the moment. All right, are you ready to go to this next piece, KJ? In fact, I will let you lead off this next piece. How's that?
Okay, if you want to.
You can lead off this next piece.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to go off the original from CNN. The Department of Justice appeals ruling that transgender people are free to enlist in the U.S. military. The Pentagon said it will begin processing transgender applicants to the military on January 1st after a federal judge declined on Monday to put the deadline on hold. Transgender service members are challenging President Donald Trump's memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to bar transgender Americans from military service. The challengers have so far been successful in blocking the president's policy from going into effect while the lawsuit plays out in court. The latest victory came Monday when Judge Colleen Cotelli ruled that the government would not be irreparably injured if the January 1st deadline remained in place as the lawsuit continues. Okay, all right. I have to comment. I have to, Grey Cloud.
Go ahead.
Moving the microphone just a little bit farther away from my mouth. Force fucking readiness. To those who listened to my show earlier today, force fucking readiness. Now, in a perfect world, in a perfect infantry platoon, you have Joe Snuffy, who is the gunner. The machine gunner. He's carrying the 240. He has an assistant gunner. He has an arrow bearer. In a perfect fucking world, everybody wears a hat. Now, in this perfect world, Private Joe Snuffy decides he wants to become Private Jane Snuffy, and he wants to chop off his dick and put on some tits. Good for him. It's not my problem. I don't care. Oh, wait, now it is because I'm the assistant gunner, and not only do I have to carry my load, but I have to also carry his load. Now, in the imperfect world, and we'll use my fucking platoon as an example, a bro of mine was the gunner, assistant gunner, and ammo bitch. So he carried all that shit. Granted, we were a heavy weapons company, but he carried all that shit. And lo and fucking behold, if he decided that, oh, well, you know, I want to become a chick, then, oh shit, there goes the force readiness, because now we have to have someone pick up 3 hats out their ass. God damn it. Secretary of Defense, St. Mattis, for the love of God, bring this point up to someone, anyone. Force readiness. Do it before, do it after, not in fucking tween. Before, get your tits chopped off, get your dick chopped off, switch it out, whatever. Great. Get it solved beforehand, enlist. Or commission if you go officer. Or wait till afterwards. Deal with it then. But don't do it while fucking in the service. You are degrading from force readiness. We're supposed to fucking train for one job, which is to kill. Everyone else is supposed to assist us in that job of killing. And the minute you take one person out of that fight, someone else has to fill in those shoes. And what if there's 10,000, 15,000, 20,000? And don't get me fucking started on the erection bullshit, because I will fucking argue the fuck against that one as well too. Okay, I'm a little bit better.
So Kaz told me to point out all those opinions stated of WTF Nation hosts and their guests are those of the hosts and the guests, and not of WTF Nation Radio. So, just FYI,
yes,
that is the opinion of KJ and KJ only.
This is why I disclaimer after every break. I play with the disclaimer.
The disclaimer is important. Just
every break I play it.
Every break, yes. The disclaimer.
But
no. Again, force readiness is going to be the issue, and I hope that is the issue that is used to be raised, because it's everything, you know. And I got it. You know what? If that's the way somebody wants to be, by all means, go do it. But don't do it while you're in the service, because at any minute we could be called to action because the balloon goes up, because we end up in a de facto state of war with some nation because of XYZ factors. And those in your combat ineffective if you're in the middle of your said treatment or your said reassignment and whatnot. It's a hard place.
Let's hold on, because let's go full force readiness. Let's go for the full fucking gambit. Joe Snuffy wants to become fucking Jane Snuffy, has to first get diagnosed with gender dysphoria. So that is some time slot taken away from a shrink. So it's shrinking down the psychological and medical core. Then he has to go to a fucking doc. You're shrinking down the time of someone that could be, that doctor could be doing something regarding, fucking hearing or fucking a gunshot wound, or whatever the fuck else is going on. It draws down on so many other branches inside the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, that this is just the most. I can't even speak at some point because it's just they don't. St. Mattis, why the fuck is your common sense here? Speak, for Christ's sake. You don't comment on policy, but right now I need you to.
Now, you know, and you hope that these discussions are happening behind closed doors. You really, really hope that some of these discussions are happening at the levels they need to keep readiness at a level that is acceptable to the SecDef and to the service components. Because let's face it, if it doesn't happen and readiness suffers, then we're all going to suffer, because we're going to be right back in a situation when we're short Joes when we need them the most.
And it's just the part that bothers me, the part that really fucks with my head, is the person I get going in for a selfish reason. And to me, there are acceptable selfish reasons to enlist. The especially, you know, I heard him from in my own infantry platoon. I just came in for free college. I just came in to get financially stable. I just came in to get my wife under some medical get some fucking medical insurance. You know, I get selfish reasons. Everyone's got one for enlisting, whatever it may be. But when it comes to a selfish reason that will directly impact the entire unit, I came so I can get my transgender surgery paid for. You're affecting not only your company, but you're affecting your battalion. You're affecting the medical battalion. You're affecting so many fucking people.
Right.
And that's not even getting into the hypothetical of, you know, you're in the process of this, and and I'm just going in a random hypothetical here because it's fucking me and tangents, but you're fucking in the middle of transitioning, and some old school thinking person who isn't as forward thinking as myself or Greg Cloud is, goes, "Oh, you're a fucking blah blah blah."
Right.
And now you've got a hate crime tying up MPs, so on and so forth.
Right.
This can get so out of hand.
So I see your points. And here's the other piece about that, though, is, you know, you go back to force readiness, right? So we'll use your example of the infantry platoon, okay? And the infantry battalion, right? So once that individual starts going through the processes and whatnot, okay, in theory, I would think because they're going through medical procedures, they are combat ineffective, okay? So they have to be either reassigned or detached from said unit, and it skews the numbers of readiness.
And where does that person go? Do they go to a warrior transition battalion?
That's not even that's not even the one I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is where's the backfill coming from?
Exactly.
Where does the backfill for that body come from? And I hate to use that word body, because basically at that point it becomes a numbers game on where do we get the personnel to fill those slots that are literally abandoned. S1. Yes, the S1 should help us find those bodies. However, but there's just not a plethora of, you know, quote unquote excess soldiers to just plug in bodies when they're needed. Why? Because bodies are important to units, and they find ways, and I've known S1s that do this, they find ways to keep extra personnel on their books and in their units, so they are always combat strength or combat strength plus. Because you never know when you're going to lose somebody due to medical emergency or unforeseen circumstances and whatnot. And that way you have those bodies that you need to go down range or go to the fight and take it to them. Take it to the enemy before they can bring it to us. And I would love it if S1 and S4 could get together and just, here's a brand new platoon. That would be fantastic. We all know it doesn't work that way. Somewhere a unit has to suffer because of somebody else's actions require them to do XYZ. And
we're only, and here's the harsher thing too. we're only thinking of this as Private Joe Snuffy or Private Jane Snuffy, right? What if it's Captain Joe Snuffy?
Like a commander of some kind?
Oh, yeah. What if a commander?
So
what if
here's my take on that. Okay. And again, this is Greg Cloud's opinion, is that I would hope that one, their oath of office and the warrior ethos and those things that they're instilled upon them when they're going through either the USMA or they're going through ROTC, through those military science classes and whatnot, and all this other stuff that they're doing. And they're I hate to call it this, but they're summer camp for those ROTC guys. You would hope that those leadership values of putting the welfare of those in their charge before their own are taking charge. 1 second, KJ. WF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Who's this? WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Who's this? And they hung up. All right. So, again, it goes back to you would hope that those, those values that get instilled into them take over. That they would not choose to do something selfish that would degrade the mission and the readiness of the unit that they are supporting at that time.
And that makes entirely perfect sense. But
Stefan,
you never can tell, and it's just
right.
You
and
never
you can't
know.
tell. Right now, Stefan and Mixer. What if someone already had all the transition stuff done and they can contribute to the unit? No issues. I've got no issues with that because they're going to be able to contribute to the fight. If they are done with their transition and all that other stuff, I am good with that. And if they can contribute to the fight, lead down range, I'm good with that. Thoughts on that, KJ?
Sorry.
It's all good. Seems a little broken. Are you there? Right, and so we might have lost KJ. We might not have lost KJ. And I lost him. So hopefully KJ will be able to get back with us here in a minute. Apparently Windows is having issues. Oh, 1 second, Nation. We might have him back. Woohoo! KJ, you back? KJ, are you there? Oh, nope. And so we are having issues with KG on the call, Nation. But again, as you're, we're having issues with the call. Oh, here we go. We're gonna try this one more time, and if not, then KJ, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, we got
that
you.
last Skype fucked me up.
Yep. 1 sec. WTF Nation, you're on the radio and you're on there. Who's this? Yeah, we keep having somebody, they're trying to call in and they can't, it won't answer. So there's probably an issue with that call or that connection. But, so going back to what we were talking about, what's your take on that from Stefan's comment in the mixer? Is that somebody already had all the transition stuff done and they can contribute to the unit, can they contribute to the fight?
Hell yeah. Most definitely. I mean, and that's the point I've been making the entire time. And I've spoken on my show, if you do it before or you do it after, I don't give a fuck. Because if you do it before, then you're all good to go. Yeah, there'll be some issues later on. You know, there might be an issue with you need hormone therapy. Okay, great. Then you're not on a deployable status, but guess what? You just freed up someone who you just, hey, boom, I can fill that spot in finance. I can fill that spot in S1. I can do this. I can do that. You can.
KJ, wait one.
There
I'm
will.
going to try and get this call again. Hold on. WTF Nation, you're on radio. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Doc from the chat.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, Greg Cloud. I disagree. You know, that person that wants to be transgender, how do they get through the cracks of the military? And a lot of this, you know, I'm sitting here looking at the VA's website and how the VA provides LGBT services. How do these people get in the military? I mean, we're out of the Clintons, don't ask, don't tell band anymore. You know, how do these people get in the military? Used to, you had to have 180 consecutive days active duty to be qualified for VA benefits.
Okay.
You know, now you just have to have an honorable discharge, which can be a medical discharge. If you go in the military and in 2 weeks your fucking drill sergeant says you're a piece of shit queer, and they say you're a queer. You know, I mean, how do these people survive in the military within 6 months when they get to a duty station? You know, like he was saying, you know, they're not contributing to shit. And if they are, they're going to have to be medicated. They're going to have to see a therapist for their needs. It's not like this. You have the surgery and all of a sudden you're truly a female. You know, they're not contributing to shit. They're a burden on the Department of Defense, you know, and then it rolls downhill to the Department of Veterans Affairs, which is funded different, you know, but you're having to pay for these transgender surgeries. How in the hell didn't a recruiter say, no, I'm not putting you in the military? And if he gets in the military, that individual, he or she, and they're in the military for 6 months and they get to the first duty station, you chapter them out of the military, then they got in on a fraudulent enlistment.
Right. And that's for that fraudulent enlistment stuff and all that other stuff. Doc, for all that other stuff, for all those other issues, that's got to be done through the system of the VA and the DOD to sort that out about a fraudulent enlistment. But, you know, David Coco in the Facebook live chat, he's got a good point. We all need rear D, right? We know that we need those individuals.
What would you do if your damn platoon sergeant in an infantry platoon came out and said that he was a she, and he proceeded to go to sick call to see mental health so that he could have transsexual surgery? This is your fucking platoon sergeant that's led you to the mountains of Afghanistan.
I can tell you exactly what happens. They let them go, and here's the headache. The headache here is that if you go on one extreme of the side, which is you don't let them, then you're facing discrimination.
Oh yeah, you open up a whole nother can of worms with that.
If you let them, then you're having a hole in your platoon, but you're trusting your squad leaders and team leaders that they know that you trust your squad leaders and team leaders on how to fill that hole. You know, there's consultation. The best solution for transgenders to serve in the military, the best and possibly the only, and praise St. Magnus brings it up, is if you're gonna get it, do it beforehand. Do the full transition.
Yep.
And stay away from combat arms.
Yep.
But how do you not say that individual, you know, is like rape victims? You know, a lot of rape victims require counseling the rest of their life. And if someone is going to that extreme, you know, to have surgery, they're going to require, you know, follow up on counseling and stuff, living their life as a transgender. You know, I'm not supporting them at all, but they're going to have follow-up counseling, and there's no way, you know, what are you going to do? Put that guy's 11 Bravo, you know, want him in your platoon?
That's the thing.
You know, he becomes a burden.
He becomes a burden
to you and the force.
You don't put them in combat arms. You don't let them enlist in combat arms because of the sole factor that, yes, let's say, and hypothetically here, for 5 years, they've successfully transitioned from male to female or female to male. They have already transitioned and been the opposite gender for 5 years. Great. They're still going to need something from time to time, whatever it may be. And furthermore, if you tell a person, listen, we'll let you enlist, but you can't do combat arms for this reason, this reason, this reason. Awesome. But now let's go to the person.
You start to do that. You start to do that, and you get into the issues, you know, that was one of Big Obama's things is you can have, it was last year or year before the U.S. Armor School graduated their first female lieutenant, and you desegregate shit. And we just had this thing the other night. It was on trivia, who was the first person to, allow women in, and it was Truman, and if you could do it then and not allow women in the military completely, and for decades and decades, you didn't allow women in combat MOSs, and all of a sudden you are. How the hell do you think you're going to segregate and keep the LGBTQ in their own little force or in their own little unit away from combat arms?
Here's the other solution.
Because they're going to want to be there too. They're going to want to be there too, just like the women are. You've got women in armor. You've got women in armor platoons.
Doc, here's the other solution. Like I said before, prior to you enlisting, you get it all done. Or you just are adult enough to wait. Think about it, Doc. If you have someone that is able to recognize, okay, I want to be in combat arms. If I want to be transgender, I'm going to have to go through all this stuff. But I want to be in combat arms. This will take away from my ability to do my job as a tanker, as an infantryman or woman, to be a whatever, special forces operator, whatever. If I go through that, I'm not force ready. So you wait until afterwards. And then there needs to be programs in place with the Department of Veteran Affairs that afford these privileges to those people that choose that decision. And that's the thing. If you can't have complete segregation here. You can't go to such an extreme where you're segregating LGBTQ and women. You can't do that. But if you provide the options out there clearly and plainly, either get it beforehand, but understand you will not be able to do combat arms due to these medical reasons, or wait till afterwards and the VA will chop your dick off or chop your titties off, no problem. Bam, you found viable solutions and have given people options. And what is the American population like? Options.
Yep, I agree.
There are clear physical differences in the differences in male brains, female brains, and brains of homosexuals. There is a difference there.
And I will tell
allowing someone to come in the military, someone to come in the military and stay in the military a year, and someone not, him not ring a bell that he's a homosexual, then he came in on a fraudulent enlistment. That's like coming in with diabetes and making it through. If you're truly a homosexual, by God, your brain says so. And the recruiter should be trained enough to know that, this guy's not qualified, just like you would if some guy was too fucking fat. They shouldn't be allowed in the military. If they're in there, start chaptering them out right now because they have a mental health issue.
Right, Doc. Okay. And that's where MEPS and that's where the recruiters come into play. Okay, that's where all this screening process, and I got it, they're going to slip through. Okay, the system's not perfect, and it never will be. Okay, it won't be, and we will have this discussion for years and eons on end on who can serve and what capacity and what not. But Doc,
I can't believe we're having the discussion though that people should be allowed to get in the military if they have transgender surgery and they've completely completed the surgery and shit. They shouldn't be allowed in the military.
But that's the discussion we're having because that's the society we're in. And Doc, I always appreciate your calls. I always appreciate your commentary and the chats. But we're going to have to let you go because we got to start wrapping up for the evening.
I love the shows, brother. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank you much, Doc.
Night, Doc.
Doc, it's always good to hear from you. It's always a great conversation. But the hour is waning, gentlemen. And again, it's good. I mean, it's a good discussion, and like Doc said, he's surprised that we have to have this. But that's the society we're in. We have to have these discussions, and that's just where we're at. I saw two comments I wanted to hit up real quick. To have them as a whole platoon or a whole division of there it is, Stefan. We don't need a whole platoon of non-force ready deploying people pulling rear D. Actually, I think that'd be an excellent idea. You have them all on rear D, a rear D unit that gets spread throughout the DOD, right? And that's all they do is all the stuff in the rear. They push supplies forward. They receive new people coming in. They handle everything of maintaining the garrisons. There you go.
I hate to say it, but I'm all for a situation where we have Starship Troopers. If 10,000 mobile infantry went into fight, 10,000 mobile infantry went into fight, and then everyone else is in support of the mobile infantry. And that's how it should fucking be. But if you don't want to fucking go in for any other reason than just get a surgery or get fucking etc., just be a fucking Rudy. Everyone else fucking go MI. Go MI. I'm fucking sound like
who's wrong with you?
Go fucking infantry. Fucking shoot some motherfuckers in the face. Have a good fucking time while you do and collect your VA benefits. But everyone else is in support of us.
Yep. So man, that was a fast 3 hours. Holy cow! Look at the time. And just a last update on the Alabama Senate race. Again, NPR is calling it for Doug Jones, the Democratic candidate, at 49.5% of the vote to Roy Moore at 48.8% of the vote. It's very close. It looks to be a little less than 10,000 votes is what separated them. And there you have it. Doug Jones is going to win the special election in Alabama, according to NPR. And with that said, we're going to do some housekeeping. Nation, as you know, we have a show here currently 6 nights a week, with Wednesday 6 nights a week, with currently Wednesday being our only night without a show. Tonight is Tied Up Tuesday with myself, Grey Cloud, and usually my co-host Minx, who is out, but I have KJ from Jose's Taco Truck filling in with me, and it's been an awesome evening. Wednesday, there is no show. Supposedly, allegedly, that is the GTA day. Thursdays is Sergeant's Times with Ice, Mike Golf, and Doc Madness from the main page. And they're usually covering down on current issues facing the military and issues facing, again, the U.S. On Friday, we have Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Pookie. And they're usually covering current events as well. Saturday is Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie, and it gets a little crazy there, so tune in to Saturday Night Savagery. Then we roll into Sunday with The Green Room, and that's Kaz, Charlie, and Jason, and they cover all things that are 420 friendly. And then it's Monday with the Monday edition with Ice, and again, he's always covering down on current events. He had a great show last night, covering down on some of the things that we talked about today, i.e. the allegation thing, sexual assault, sexual harassment. Again, it's just it's the subject that's currently consuming the 24-hour news cycle, period. And then we roll back into Tuesday with myself and Minx on Tied Up Tuesdays. And to cover some of the guests, our next guest is on this Saturday, the 16th, is Bill Harris. Bill Harris is a volunteer firefighter who chased down the terrorists in New York on 31 October 2017. The suspect, Safulio Sapivo, rented a truck from Home Depot that was used to mow down people in Lower Manhattan, killing 8 people. Bill will be on to talk about his experience and how it has changed his life. And then on Monday, the Monday edition is Dan Thurst from TacticalReviews.com. Dan will be on to talk about TacticalReviews.com and what they do for those who love all things tactical. And then the next guest after that will be 21 December, Thursday, Christopher Beatty from Sempra K9. Christopher Beatty served 6 overseas deployments to include 4 combat deployments in the Middle East. While deployed, he used dogs to search for enemy bombs and other explosives. When he returned home, he faced bouts of post-traumatic stress disorder, but Beatty has no regrets. The decision he made to serve led to what he believes is his true calling, Sempra K9 Assistance Dogs. Their mission is to enhance the quality of life for wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces and their families by providing them assistance dogs. Using rescued and donated dogs, they provide service dogs for psychiatric alert and mobility challenges free of charge to wounded service members. Man, I can get behind that. And we'll just close out the week. 22 December, Friday, Tex from Rugged Saints Outdoors. Tex will be on to talk about how Rugged Saints Outdoors promotes healing and wellness for disabled veterans, providing them with fantastic opportunities for special hunting and fishing trips. And then 26 December, Tuesday, we'll have Brittany Kennard Brittany, who is a veteran that was injured in Iraq, will be on to talk about the SD Gunner Fund and what they do for veterans and disabled children. The SD Gunner Fund was created to assist veterans and disabled children with the financial expenses of owning much-needed service animals. Service animals require a variety of necessary items in order to perform their service. Those items can include, but not limited to, vest, custom harnesses, and other assistance items. And again, we have Partners and Vets. Partners for our station. Warhorse for Vets is one of our main partners, one of our largest partners. KBH out there in Pittsburgh, and the Veterans Report. So as you can see, we posted that up when we started this evening. Check them out. They all do great things for us and whatnot. So again, yes, Tracy, it's not quite a teleprompter, but it helps me out if I have it written down and whatnot. But that's our show for this evening. Man, that was a fast 3 hours.
It just flew by.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think it was a really great show.
Oh, it was fantastic. I really appreciate you having me on tonight, Great Cloud.
No, I appreciate you coming on, and we kept it going, and it was really awesome. So, Nation, as we close out this evening, stay safe out there, stay warm if you're facing the cold front, and shots.
Shot.